You're welcome to another episode of the Purp Show, Season 5, Episode 6. This is the birthday Purp Day stream. Let me bring in my guest. What up, Rashad?
Sup, my brother?
What up, what up?
Man, I know today was your birthday, man. Happy birthday, nigga.
Yeah. 33. I'm
Hey,
as
can you hear me
old as
okay?
Jesus. Yeah, I can hear you loud and clear.
Damn. Okay. Cool. 33. Damn. Boy, you make me feel
Yeah,
old, man.
I'm as old as Jesus, so you know what I'm saying? Hope I can make it to that
Yeah, for
34
sure. Hey,
and
33,
make
man,
it.
that was a good year for me, man. 33 was a good year, but I was in my sexual prime. I was I was in the best shape of my life. You know what I'm saying? Hey, 33, you couldn't tell me nothing.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. So we're gonna have a pretty interesting show tonight. Completely random topics and stuff like that. I got a couple things that I came up with. And then afterwards, if people are that are viewing, you can kind of put suggestions in the comment section or just the live chat, and I'll see that, and we can kind of get to that after I get done what I got going, whatnot. Pretty much, you know what I'm saying. Just stay tuned. You know what I'm saying. Gotta should have some more guests coming in. If not, you know what I'm saying. It is what it is. Probably gonna try to go for like maybe an hour and a half, depending on how these conversations go and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? It could be shorter than that. Who knows? It's all dependent on the people. But as y'all saw, if you missed it, in the beginning, I do have Horror Never Dies season 2 coming out by the end of this month. We're going to do a 2 night premiere, considering I have to go out on like this like family vacation thing. It was like kind of last minute bullshit, but you know what I'm saying. Or else I would have had it like next Friday or something like that. But we're gonna do the first episode on the 31st, 10 p.m. That's gonna be on Saturday, and then the second night's gonna be on Sunday. That's gonna be episode 2, so it doesn't kind of mess up my schedule that I have. And then like it'll just be on Saturdays from there on, pretty much. And then you also saw that we're pretty much like 4 months away from the Perp Show Awards. You know what I'm saying? I'm looking forward to that. Still got a lot of movies to drop. Still got a lot of content to kind of get through, to kind of put everything together and have everything finalized. I should have everything finalized by like the end of like November or early December, depending on how I feel about it. You know what I'm saying? But I'm looking forward to this year. This year's going to be interesting. Definitely going to do some different things as I always do every year at the Purple Wars and stuff like that. So that's exciting. Then we got just October in general right around the corner. So, you know what I'm saying? We got a lot of things to kind of look forward to. Horror content is More horror content is coming. Another thing about the Horror Never Dies season 2, you might see like the episode titles that may or may not change. You know what I'm saying? That's just kind of like a rough draft of what I've been had for what seems like a couple of years now, just because I've planned all this shit out. But just to kind of give you that update and whatnot. But what's been good with you, Brashad? How you been, man?
I've been good, man. I haven't been able to make it to the cinema since Deadpool Wolverine, though. That's been 2 weeks because I daddy duties, man. So I got my son that's starting the third grade, so school just started this week. So I've been getting him ready
Right,
for the past week or so. Then my daughter, she's getting ready to start college, so I've been on that kick. You know what I'm saying? So the
I
third
feel
grade in
you.
college, yeah, just so I haven't been able to get to the cinema, but
Thank you, Jimmy.
I did get to watch some TV stuff. So I finished the Batman series, the Cape
Yeah, I fuck
Crusader.
with it.
I just finished that. Actually, just before the stream, I just finished that, and then I finished Supercell. I just watched that as well.
You
And
saw that they're getting a second season. They confirmed it. I think it was like a day ago or something like that.
yeah, well, I guess they felt pressure from the people, man, because a lot of people complain that every time Netflix gets something good, they kill it after one season, and this show is just so fucking good. It's like, nah, man, just keep it going. This is like the Black X-Men. You know what I'm saying? Like we need this.
Black version of Heroes. Yeah, like I liked it. I was just like, it definitely has some glaring issues that like
Mm-hmm.
didn't bother me as much because I feel like it could be improved on in season two,
Right,
and hopefully they do improve on that. Like
right,
just certain things with the story beats was kind of like, you know, for 6 episodes, I think it could have been structured a little bit better. Like I said, like that's my only issue is like the structure. Like put a little bit more budget behind these special effects and stuff like that. Little
right.
things like that, and just will go a long way.
Well, I'm surprised that because the guy that directed this, he also did like Blue Story and like some of those like gangster UK movies. So that's just interesting to see him go from the street stuff to now going to the superhero genre. You know what I'm saying? That's a big jump for him.
Right.
So hopefully he can take this experience and get better from it. Because yeah, I agree with what you said. I feel like it could have been a little tighter. Definitely had some pacing issues at times, but I did love the concept of it. You know what I'm saying? Like we don't see a lot
Yeah.
of black superhero content, so I was just happy to see that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And the whole blood and crypt thing that was kind of goofy to me, but it's just like, it's kind of like kind of somewhat done. Hopefully, like we don't have to go back to that. But
yeah,
either
and
either
also
the-
too, man. I
either
think
way,
sometimes, yeah, I'm
go
sorry,
ahead.
my bad.
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
Nah, I was just gonna say sometimes too. Like I feel I needed subtitles to understand what the niggas was saying, man. Like I'm sorry, them UK niggas, them UK niggas, man, the way they be talking, like, hey, what you doing? Sit up, y'all, bitch. What y'all doing? I'm like, dude, are you Jamaican or UK? Like, what the fuck you?
All right.
I couldn't,
Nah, that's just
I
funny as
couldn't
hell.
understand half the time what they were saying.
Yeah, because like that's why I like UK shows like Top Boy because that one has a really dope story, and I feel like the soundtrack was better. That's one thing I feel like was lacking in this was the soundtrack was kind of like wasn't really vibing with it
Right.
because usually like when I hear like these they usually have some really dope like tracks playing. I'm not fucking like I'm still laughing, but it's something you
Yeah.
could actually just rock with, or it just makes sense for the scene or something like that. It just makes sense for what it's being used for. But yeah, like I said, like
Right.
there's a lot of room for improvement with season two.
Mm-hmm.
So let's wait and see.
Yeah.
So
For sure.
you're gonna see you seeing Alien this weekend?
Fuck yeah, I
You're gonna
can't
try
miss
to?
that one now. Yeah, I can't miss that one. Yeah, this like I said, I got my kids started in school, so now this week I can just concentrate on me, you know what I'm saying? So I plan on I'm
Uh,
gonna either go tomorrow or Friday. I'm going on one of those days, but I'm definitely seeing Alien for sure.
you see it in like just regular or just IMAX Dolby?
Fuck no, I'm spoiled, man. I gotta watch that in Dolby, nigga.
Yeah.
I'm
I
spoiled,
would see it
man.
in Prime just because I don't feel like driving out to, it's not that far, but it's just like I got a
Right.
theater right next to me, so it's like it's just Prime. It's like the smaller version of Dolby, but it still has the same seats and the
Okay.
subwoofers and the seats and all that. So it's just like fuck it, because they
Right.
haven't updated it. Because usually they'll have the IMAX screens and stuff like that, but for some odd reason they haven't updated that shit. But
Yeah.
I don't know.
Definitely.
And I
Definitely.
was and I wanted to move up my stream to yesterday because they got that movie Strange Darling coming out, and it was like it's like an early screener is going on right now. But it's
Mm-hmm.
like fuck it, I'm just gonna if I get time while I'm down in Florida and shit. If I get like if there's like a theater near me, I'll probably go check it out there. But if not, I'm just when I get back, as soon as like the first showing's up, like I'm seeing
Yeah.
hella movies and catching up and stuff like that. So
What part of Florida you gonna be at?
I have no idea. I just know I'm
Okay.
going. Just family
All right.
stuff. So
Yeah. Okay, so I'm in the Central Florida area, man. So if you close by,
mhm.
man, yeah, we probably catch a movie or something.
Word, word.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know exactly where I'm going at. So
Okay. Okay.
just going with the wind.
Yeah.
Yep. So
So you can experience firsthand, if I fall asleep in a movie or not. Perez already saw me in action a couple of times, man, when I dozed off.
yeah, yeah. It's just like speaking of which, speaking of dozing off and
Oh.
getting some great news, right? There will be no Eternal Still. Thank Kevin.
Ah.
Thank Kevin. So. No more Eternal Sleep and NyQuil and shit. That's a movie I felt like I was fighting.
Yeah.
It was that, and like the second time that I saw Captain Marvel. Like the first time I saw Captain Marvel, I could stay. I like I was up watching it, but then the second time, I definitely fell asleep. Maybe I was tired that day, but no Eternals, no Eternals too. That's good news for me.
Well, I'm surprised Jody didn't drop a video about that because I think Jody, from Jody's Corner, he's like the only person I know that really loves the Eternals. He said it's the best MCU movie to date. And I don't know if he
Mhm.
says that shit to troll or just to be that different, because some people
I
just
mean,
pride themselves on being different,
I,
but I'm like,
I mean,
damn.
people. I understand that there's a base that likes that movie, but it's really not a good movie. It looks nice, but like it's very flawed, in my opinion.
Yeah,
Very
it
flawed.
just it never caught my attention. Like I gave it a chance twice. It took me 4 hours to watch the movie. The first time I fell asleep on it, and then I rewound it back to the beginning, watched it from the beginning, and I still fell asleep on it. And then after I drunk some Zoa, I made it, but
Yeah,
I'm like this shit is whack.
what they needed to fix with that movie is cut down the roster. You didn't have to
Yeah,
introduce all the Eternals. Like pick like 4 or 5 or something like that. They have like this conflict, and then Icarus gets away or something like that, and then like they have to go find the other Eternals, and that sets up Eternals 2 or something like that. Where a series would have been better because then you could actually
hmm
flesh out these characters and make people care. But I
right.
didn't care about none of these characters. I don't miss them. I just feel nothing.
Yeah, I mean, maybe if I was familiar with them, what I'm saying, maybe if I read a comic or maybe if I knew them from, I've never heard of the Eternals until they announced the movie.
Mhm.
I never
It's a
even knew
cool
who they
premise,
were.
but I just feel like the execution
hmm
just fell flat.
Yeah.
Dark room reviews. I appreciate the super sticker.
All
I
right, what's good,
appreciate that.
fam?
Thank you. Yeah, so let me know how y'all feel about No Eternals. If anybody pops back up in on the panel, I'll bring this back up. But moving on to the next thing.
I just read the comment here. I like the speedster and Summer Hayek's titties. That's about it.
Yeah, people like the speedster scene. It's cool, but it's just it'd been dope if it came along with a dope movie and I
Right.
wasn't bored out my mind. You know what I'm saying? We didn't have to wait. I'm over talking about that, but
Yeah.
let's see. Next, what up, Terrence?
What's
Appreciate
up,
it. Appreciate
Terrence?
it.
What's good, fam? Well, rest in peace, Eternals, man. May you rest in shit.
Right. So, in your opinion, since we're winding down in the summer and whatnot, like, what was your favorite movie of the summer so far?
Oh, easily Deadpool Wolverine. That's it.
Okay.
That's it, and that's
You
all.
saw Long Legs, right?
Which one?
You saw Long Legs, right?
Hell no, nah, because I made the mistake of watching some reviews, and a lot of people didn't like it. And
Oh, now you gotta go in there with your own. You know what I'm saying? You gotta.
I know that with the perp that's why I avoid, doing what we do, man. I try to avoid reviews as much as I can, unless it's
Mm,
something that I'm not like. If it's something that I really want to see, I'll avoid reviews at all costs. But something like that, I was like, well, let me see what people said about it. And collectively, everybody was like, this shit was boring. Like Q hit me up, Q reviews hit me up, and he went on a whole rant. He was like, bro, that shit was trash. I went to sleep on it. It was boring. And me and Q almost had the same taste in movies and stuff. So I was like, all right, well, I'll wait till it gets on streaming. I'm not gonna go to the cinema and watch. I mean, I'm gonna watch it.
nah, cause like for me, like it's just it was a different experience, and that's why like I appreciate a lot of the heart that's coming out because it is original. You know what I'm
Okay.
saying? Like, and what made the experience even better for me is when they had like a limited run where they were putting it in prime theaters and stuff like that. I
hmm
don't think they put it in Dolby anywhere, but I was like, man, if they would have put this in Dolby, IMAX, or something like that, like, because the having the subwoofers in the seats added so much to that movie because of the sound effects and just the sound design. It was just
Right.
like You'd hear a heartbeat. It would go like it would pulsate throughout the whole entire chair, type shit. Like it was
So
just
look, I'm
good.
sorry.
No, go ahead.
Oh, no, I was gonna ask, like, so is it like a psychological horror movie as opposed to like,
Yeah, it's more psychological, but there's like somewhat of I'll say a supernatural element to it, and I really like the way that they do it, and I can see why people didn't like it because of the ending. But when you really watch it and you think about the ending and think about what everything has been said, it leaves it open ended, so
okay,
there could possibly be like a sequel, or it's meant to just like. And I know a lot of people don't like that type of ending where it's just like it leaves you up to your own imagination, like.
mm-hmm.
But when you pay attention to what's being said and all the clues, like everything kind of just makes sense. And I feel like it's a movie that's going to grow on people because when people were kind of falling for the whole like, oh, it's the scariest movie, I was just like, bro, that's just marketing. Every movie does that. Even it could be a shit movie, but oh, it's number one movie in America. Did like, you know what I'm saying? It's just
Well,
like go in there with.
yeah, I was gonna ask that. I said, do you think the
Mm.
marketing kind of hurt the movie because it was so hyped up? As like, this is the
No, because like
next.
the marketing was good because like look at something like Alien where it's just like why the fuck are you showing the whole entire movie where Longlegs literally like that got a lot of people into the theaters and it was one of Neon's most successful films, so the
Mm-hmm.
marketing definitely worked for them.
Yeah,
But it definitely falls into the whole like getting overhyped or something like that. But it's just like I don't know what people want out of like movies. Do we or are we supposed to just go into movies disappointed? You know what I'm saying, or just have
yeah,
no expectations, or just I don't know anymore. Because for me, when I go see a movie, I don't care. I'm always excited to see a new movie. You know what I'm saying?
right,
Because I don't know if
right.
I'm going to like it or not, unless if I see it. You know.
Yeah, yeah. Well, but yeah, when you put a pressure on a film like that, though, like for example, when Hereditary came out, right? The marketing for that movie was, "Oh, this is the scariest movie since The Exorcist." The scariest movie of all time. So when I sat down, I was expecting to be frightened, and what I got was not the worst movie in the world. But when it was over, I said, "What the fuck was that? That was nowhere near scary." You know what I'm saying? Or at least on the
Mm.
level of, or at least on the level of The Exorcist. So I think sometimes when you overhype a movie, people are gonna go in with
It,
those expectations, and when they
it,
leave, they're like, it wasn't all that.
and a great example of this, right? Trap comes out. Trap is trash, but there's people that will praise it, but they hate fucking long legs. You know what I'm saying? It's
Yeah,
just like
yeah,
it's so weird how just film criticism and stuff works. You know what I'm
right,
saying?
right.
Just
Yeah,
weird.
no, I feel well. I refuse. I refuse to watch Trap because I decided a long time ago to boycott M Night Shyamalama Ding Dong, however the fuck you say his name. Fuck that guy, man. I did try to give him a chance with that. What's the one he came out with last year with Batista? Knock at the Cabin, I think it's called. Right?
Mhm.
Yeah,
Yeah, that was
yeah,
that was decent. That's what I say. He's usually always hit or miss. He'll have something that's like, okay, that was cool. This wasn't really my thing. This was really bad. Or what I'm saying, it's very but I do appreciate that he does try to do original things. I just don't think he thinks it all the way through.
right.
Almost on some like Tyler Perry shit.
Yeah, well, he
He just
tries
kind
too
of
hard.
wings it.
Well, he tries too hard to put a twist on it. You know what I'm saying? Like his whole gimmick is the twist. When you watch M Night Shyamalan movie, you're gonna get this crazy twist at the end. It ends up being something laughably bad. Where you're like, what
Right.
was that? Yeah. So that's why I refuse to watch his movies anymore. Let's see.
Yeah, it's just it is what it is. But like I got more. I'm curious to see what his daughter's going to do after Watchers and stuff like that because I feel like she has potential. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying for sure.
Yeah.
Hold up
If
one
you would
second.
M Night movie, you want to support it. Yeah. Hell no, I still want to support it, bro. Nope. I refuse. His movies stink.
Okay, so going on to the next thing I wanted to talk about that got showed off at D23. There's been rumblings and talks about
Mm-hmm.
this movie forever. The Mandalorian Grogu movie. Now I feel like this movie is going to underperform. Some people
Mm,
might think like just because it's Star Wars is going to do well. There's been cases of that, doing well, but there's also cases where Star Wars movies haven't done it as well.
right.
Are you? Have you been watching The Mandalorian and stuff like that? Are you caught up?
I gotta finish. Was the third season? I watched season 1 and 2. I haven't finished the third season because it lost my interest.
Hmm.
Yeah, so I didn't really, So yeah, if this movie does underperform, I wouldn't be surprised. I know like the diehard Star Wars fans are gonna come out in droves. You know what I'm saying? But
Right.
yeah, I don't think it's gonna do that well either.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting. I could be wrong, you know what I'm saying, but like I just think 2026, especially the summer, is gonna be pretty stacked.
Mm-hmm.
It's dropping the same month as Avengers Doomsday, so
Ooh,
they're gonna eat into each other's profit most definitely. So it's gonna be interesting.
yeah. I mean, it's all under the
Definitely.
same. It's all under the same umbrella, so they don't give a fuck. They're basically competing with themselves. So either way, they win.
Cause I asked, like, do you see this movie hitting over 500 million?
Mm, I don't know. I don't know. I mean, it's all going to depend on the trailer. Okay, so if the trailer gets a lot of buzz in the marketing, and if there's a lot of good word of mouth for it, possibly, possibly. Oh shit! Did I go out?
Oh wait, no, I was fucking muted. My fault. No, I was saying we'd have to just wait because it's still some times off till this releases, so it could get delayed or
Mm,
something like that. So
yeah. I mean, but most Star Wars movies do good, even if the movie's bad. Like hell, if Rise of Skywalker could do big numbers, then this movie definitely has the potential. But I guess the question is going to come down to are people Star Wars out? Like has Star Wars lost its flavor like all the way? Because it seems like as time goes by, it loses more steam. You know what I mean? Where it's not as much excitement for it as it used to be.
yeah, most definitely, and I think that's a mixture of things. Some people are just not like the direction. The fandom is just like so divisive. Like there's people that enjoy the current Star Wars, but then
Mhm.
you have the older Star Wars fans clashing with the new ones, and it's just an ongoing cycle. It's annoying.
No, and Star Wars has become divided between liberals and conservatives, man. You have liberal Star Wars fans, you have conservative Star Wars fans. It's very conflicting.
Terrence, you want a link, Terrence? I'll send you a link. Let me know.
He said he had to see a therapist because it was so bad. Yeah, yeah, especially after that Rise of
Is it six
Skywalker, man.
million?
Fuck that movie.
Right, right. Yeah, it's gonna be interesting. I'm curious to see because, like I said, 2026 is gonna be pretty loaded. So,
Right. Well, who's directing? Who's behind it?
I think Dave Filoni.
Oh, okay, okay.
I think he's directing it or something like that.
Well,
So,
listen, but besides Lucas, man, he's the closest thing we have to Lucas. So if he's behind the director's chair, then yeah, it might be all right.
yeah, my fault. I had to send him the link real quick.
No, you're
You still
good.
there?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So, Mandalorian, Grogu. We'll have to see because, like, is Grogu gonna be enough to sell this? Like, I always said, like, yo, the Mando has to do some epic sacrifice or something like that
Hmm.
to really make this movie worth it. Or they have to really sell me on just the trailer. Something in the trailer has to really like get me because, like I said, like the last season was lackluster, so this is
I
the
heard.
finale to everything. So it's like it's not really going off of nothing strong or just I'm not excited. I should say.
Well, I heard that third season focused mostly on Bo Katan as opposed to Mando. That's
True,
what I
true.
heard. Yeah.
Yeah, Star Wars should do like a horror type film. That'd be really dope. Like just sort of how like the Acolyte felt like that at some points, but
To
I don't know that Acolyte know. I think it just struggled with what direction it wanted to go with. I don't know, but
Acolyte
who
had
knows?
potential though, yo. As much hate as that show got, I did see the potential in that show.
Mm-hmm.
But damn it,
Yeah,
the writing was just shit.
it peaked at like episode 5. That episode 5 was still fire though. Like that shit was crazy.
Yeah, like they bring in your boy Smilo Ren, who was definitely the standout, and they really didn't do nothing with the brother, man.
What up, that?
Yo, yo, yo. Happy birthday, Purp. I'm not going to be here long, but I just want to say really happy birthday. I can at least spare 10 to 15 minutes.
All right. What up, Terrence?
It was good,
Hello,
Doc. It was
Purp.
good,
Happy
Terrence.
birthday, my friend. Yep. Hello, everybody. Yep, Terrence here.
Peace, peace.
So, Dot and Terrence, how do y'all feel about this Mando movie? Talk amongst yourselves real quick. I gotta go do something real quick. I'll be back in like 2 seconds.
I'll say this about the Mando movie coming up. I think off cuteness, off Grogu is going to make a lot of money, but is it something I want to see as a movie? No, not really. But it's one of the better stuff of the new Disney Star Wars. So yeah,
Thanks.
but I don't know. I feel like this is the same thing I felt about Rogue One. I was like, it was a good movie. I don't give a fuck about the Death Star plans. We need the stuff to feel like big event things. I don't think this Mandalorian and Grogu movie is gonna feel like a big event. Like, are they gonna be fighting Thrawn? Like, what's the big event that this movie is going to be doing to push the Star Wars films even higher? This feels like another spin-off movie when the movies need to feel like the main event stuff. That's why we have the TV shows to be the spin-offs.
Right. I agree. 100% agree.
But Rogue One wasn't a bad movie, guys, but it really needed no.
Yeah, well, I was making the argument too before with somebody that, you know, Star Wars, the magic of Star Wars is that they were event films. Like, you know, we got a movie every 3 years or whatnot. You know, in the case of Phantom Menace was what, 16 years after Return of the Jedi, right? So these were big events. It was like WrestleMania, and now it's like there's so much Star Wars content now where it's just like who gives a shit anymore, you know? I mean, besides the hardcore fans that no matter what they put out, you know, they love it.
I think we're getting a little bit too much of it. Well, we are getting a lot, but the show should be relegated to small spin-off stories. Should be focusing on smaller things like the Mandalorian and stuff.
Right.
But also, this is why I think the whole Thrawn thing they're trying to build up to and eventually do a movie about. I really feel like they shouldn't even do that. Like, who cares? Because we know the next big threat is Sidious. It's no surprise. We know Thrawn's going to lose because the Thrawn thing is going to be dealt with before Sidious shows up in Episode 9. So, what threat is Thrawn? Nothing.
Well, yo, am I tripping? Or well, the live action version of Thrawn like was not menacing at all. Like, I remember Thrawn from the books and the comics, and then during the not the Clone Wars, what was that? Rebels. You know, Rebels Thrawn was a badass, and then on the live action joint, I'm like, he looks like a pussy, man. I don't know. I didn't feel the threat with Thrawn. Maybe I'm tripping.
I think it's because Thrawn got a little chunky. You know, he was a little limber in Rebels. You know, he put on a little bit of weight. He wasn't his old self anymore.
Yeah, I'm like, I could whoop Thrawn, man. Like, what are we talking about here?
Also, the fact that he let Ezra like live that long on the planet when him and Ezra had beef, and it was like down the street from each other. He was struggling that long to find Ezra is wild to me.
Yeah, I don't know, man. Yeah, Star Wars, like, I don't know, man. Like, and I'm a lifelong fan too. Like, I've been a Star Wars fan since birth, but this stuff they've been putting out, I mean, dog, when they played a fucking R&B song at the end of the Acolyte, that's when I knew Star Wars was in trouble. I'm like, wait a minute, are they playing like a pop R&B joint at the end of at the fucking credits on this fucking show?
But it
I
plays some
said,
R&B. What song?
Guys, are we still on the Mando and Grogu? I had to step away for a moment. Some humans were like calling me.
Yeah. We saw Mando and Grogu. Well, Star Wars in general, but Mando and Grogu also.
Yeah, just Star Wars, in general.
Oh, yep. I guess I should chime in. Yeah. So wait, what was the main question?
What do you think the Mando and Grogu movie, will it be anything? Like, will it underperform? Will it be a huge hit? What do you think?
Oh, so first off, Star Wars is dead as far as I'm concerned. However, I did enjoy the Mandalorian. Like that's the only thing that could pull me in. Like they can have all the lightsabers they want, but since the writing is shitty, I don't care, which is sad, when you think about Star Wars. But you show me the Mandalorian, Din Djarin, and Grogu walking side by side in the desert. You can take all my money. I'm being there day one IMAX. In fact, I'm gonna walk the way of the Mandalore to the theater with my own outfit. I'm gonna have the pledge and all that stuff, and I'm gonna be ready for that adventure. So I don't know how much money it's gonna make. I'm guessing so we haven't really got a trailer that way, everybody could see it. So depending on how the trailer looks and the response, I say that it'll hit maybe about 500 million. And then if the movie is good, it might even hit 800 million. Because if the rise of Waste of Time Skywalker, that abomination, if that can make money, that means that any movie ever can make money if that shit can make some money.
I was saying
that. I'm just saying. And to be honest, it was weird because I remember when I watched The Mandalorian for the first time, that was when Star Wars was still okay in my book. I was like, all right, you guys didn't really fuck up yet. You still have Terrence. I'm gonna give y'all a chance. And then when they played that theme, and then Din Djarin was walking, somehow just by him walking, I had a feeling it was just gonna be a badass show. And I was like, it ain't got no lightsabers in here, and this shit is already better. And it had to do with the writing. Like they captured me based upon the storytelling. And I've been telling humans for the last damn near 15 years, I'm like, Star Wars is supposed to be about characters and story first. With the characters and story, when you have an action sequence, they then by in turn get elevated because you care about the characters. Like if you do something like, say, The Acolyte, where you're like, oh, look at how I twirl my lightsaber, but then all the writing and acting and dialogue is trash. I'm like, I don't care how many 360 spin roundhouse sidekicks you do. I don't care because your characters are garbage.
True. And this thing, that Acolyte fight, them Acolyte fights look dope, but I don't give a fuck about these characters.
Yeah, no. So, well, that's the thing about, say what you want about George Lucas and his questionable storytelling, but one thing you cannot deny, George Lucas cared about the characters, and that's why they all stand the test of time. From Luke Skywalker, Han Solo, Princess Leia, all those characters still, they still mean something. You can't name a character now in this new generation of Star Wars that really stands out.
No, not real. Like the only ones that I would really point to is Din Djarin and Grogu, just because they just got more swag than any of the other characters. I'm like, they're the only ones to where they can walk in a room and be silent for 30 seconds and we already know what time it is.
Right.
The other characters, they can't do that. They walk in the room, they try the same thing. You're like, wait, what show is that character from? When did this character? You're gonna have a hard time remembering who they are and their significance in that universe. And that's sad to me. Like we shouldn't have to be like, who is that? We should know based upon the impact that they made in whatever story. And as much as I was, saying that the prequels were trash because of what I'm talking about now, the writing. The thing is, I would rather have those than what we've been getting based upon what I've been seeing, which is my mind is almost fighting with me on that. It's like, wait a minute, but I thought you didn't really care for the prequels. I didn't. But sometimes in life, when you think something is so bad and then you get something worse, you beg for that other thing. You know what I mean? So that's where I'm at.
Oh,
I think
so you didn't care for the so you didn't like Phantom Menace and Attack of the Clones and Revenge of the Sith. You didn't like those.
I did not like the nature of the storytelling. Like I like the music and the fight scenes, most of them. But to me, when it comes to storytelling, like with Star Wars, nothing is as good as the original trilogy to me. And that since then, it's been going downhill, but it's never been as low as it's been nowadays. Like nowadays, like even like the last 7 years, the prequels ain't that bad in comparison. But that's when you start doing comparisons, certain things start to look better or worse when you begin comparisons.
Yeah, I mean, well, I tell you what, an example of that is, one of the biggest criticisms that the prequels have got is Hayden Christensen's wooden performance. Like the dude couldn't act his way out of a wet paper bag. But as bad as the Star Wars content has been, when we see him again, we're happy. Like, holy shit, Hayden's back.
Right.
even though his acting was shit, but you was just so happy to see him because he brings it back to a time where Star Wars was still Star Wars.
Yeah. Right. And it's
I
like
don't think Hayden was really bad as Anakin either. I just think some of the dialogue he got was
his delivery was
okay. So
hey,
the dialogue
when he showed that anger, when he showed the moments of anger in Attack of the Clones and Revenge of the Sith, especially when he started to turn into the dark side, I was like, I'm getting sold on it, you know.
But see, what they don't tell you is that those scenes where he got angry was not acting; it was real because he was so frustrated with the trash that he had to work with. They just happened to start the camera, during those moments. That's how you have that.
You turned her against me,
right? And then he was like, "You've done that yourself." I was like, You know what else has done it? A bad script. That I feel like any one of y'all get thrown into the lava, we not gonna miss you. But then I was like, wait, damn, we can't throw Obi-Wan and them because they gotta make it because I'm like, damn, so we can't really kill too many of them, but I'm gonna have to sit with them for how many movies now? Like that's how I felt.
Well, I think honestly, and this is where I say, and Terrence brought up a good point. This is where I say George Lucas kind of messed up at with Star Wars. And I think this is what the prequels could have been originally, especially with the money George Lucas was putting into it, and he could have afforded it. I think the prequel trilogy should have been a three season TV show. First season exploring his childhood, you got Darth Maul and stuff in it. Second season exploring his teenage years, the Attack of the Clones. Third season, you get right into Return of the Revenge of the Sith. And also, and this is what gave Disney opportunity to be able to fuck with OG shit. George Lucas, one thing he failed at was giving the original trilogy characters more content. Because when the prequels came out, if you notice in the early 2000s and up until the sequels, the prequel content was dominating Star Wars, the Clone Wars,
which was the shit.
Yeah, like Clone Wars,
yeah.
Anakin, Vader, all this stuff in kind of reference. Like, where was the Luke content at? Where was the Han Solo? Like, where was that shit at?
Well,
it was in comics, but where's that in like TV shows or movies?
Like action, yeah. Well, and that's why I said Filoni is the best thing since Lucas because where George Lucas falls short, that's where Filoni shines. You know what I'm saying? And vice versa, where Filoni kind of falls short as far as memorable characters, that's where Lucas, creates. So, man, if they could have worked together, because and when you watch the Clone Wars took everything about the prequels and elevated it. So they took Anakin's whole story and they fleshed Anakin's character out so well that you have a new appreciation for the character of Anakin when you watch the Clone Wars. You know what I'm saying? As opposed to just the prequel trilogy. So that's why taking it back to the Mandalorian Grogu movie, being that Filoni, if he's in the director's chair, I think it's in good hands with him.
I don't disagree with that. It's just to me, Rashad, I don't know if you noticed, but I used to, be a writer and stuff. I used to write short horror stories and I wrote a couple of movie scripts in high school. So I know all about, writing and how it works and how you need to, present your characters a certain way to get your your readers, or if you turn it into a movie or show to get the audience to care.
Right.
And also, one of the many ways that you can destroy that, and with Star Wars, you can't go from character driven stories to a bunch of, hey, doesn't this look cool? Doesn't that look cool? It's like,
Right.
yeah, but it's for the same reasons when I tell humans, like, because while this is a little different, still the same applies. It's just you apply it differently. So like with martial arts movies, right? It's like we watch them for the fight scenes. But if that's all it has, then you're gonna forget it. But the ones that have like great stories like Bloodsport and Enter the Dragon and the Karate Kid, like you remember stuff like that because it sticks out because of the characters and the storytelling.
Right. Yeah, for sure. I don't know where Purp is at, but I just see Chillmonger. He's I guess he's waiting to get in. I don't know if Purp's gonna let him in or not.
Yeah, but whole Purp is not eating his cake alone and not sharing with the rest of us.
Chillmonger in the back. No MCU fans are allowed here, man.
Don't do that, man.
I think honestly, you guys, I think Grogu itself, the Q factor will sell it. Like them Grogu toys are gonna sell this movie.
Yeah.
Just like how that whole damn near that ketchup and mustard shit for Deadpool and Wolverine and the red and yellow, like that shit helped sell that movie.
Oh
yeah. The marketing for that movie was perfect. That's why Ryan Reynolds needs to take over that shit, because he understands what you need to do. Because sometimes you can lose your way. I mean, I love George Lucas and everything, but he's one of the individuals that temporarily lost his way. But you need to listen to the fans and hear what they're telling you, because sometimes they're right. But if you just dismiss them entirely, it's like, okay, so what you're doing is not working, but you still refuse to listen to the fans. Like, at what point are you going to change what you're doing?
Yeah, only time Lucas listened to the fans was the hate for Jar Jar. If y'all remember, when Phantom Menace came out, Jar Jar was like the butt of all jokes. He would, like, even myself, and I went and saw Phantom Menace 6 times in the theater, by the way, but I hated Jar Jar. I went just to watch Darth Maul kick ass, and Lucas he listened, and so by Attack of the Clones, he had like one scene, and that was it.
Yeah,
right. And I see, and that's another thing. When someone tells me the Phantom Menace, I think of 2 things. That's Liam Neeson as Qui-Gon Jinn, because I actually like that character. And then I think about the end fight scene with Darth Maul serving up Obi-Wan Kenobi and Qui-Gon Jinn. So in my opinion, I still think that is the best fight scene that we've ever seen in Star Wars. That's just me. So
yeah.
It's up there. It's up. Only reason I would put it just behind Anakin and Obi-Wan is the emotional weight of that fight with Anakin and Obi-Wan. You know what I'm saying? But as far as actual fight choreography, yeah, I give that one to Phantom Menace. But behind the fight, the story behind the fight, to me,
you're right. I'll give you that, Rashad. That was like that. So in fighting, you pull that, you fake and then you throw the fucking sidekick at somebody's face. That's what you just did with that one. But you're right. The emotional weight of Anakin versus Obi-Wan in that third film is definitely better. But I was just speaking more from just, as you just said, just from a technical standpoint of the moves that were happening with the fight.
Everything, Ray Park killed it. I mean, I don't know if you follow Ray Park on Instagram. I think he's lost his fucking mind. But man, Ray Park was a menace in that movie. Oh man, do you follow him on Instagram? Any of y'all?
I Rashad. Luckily, I don't really do social media because humans be telling me a lot of crazy stuff happens.
Man, let me tell you something. Okay, well, just to fill you in, Ray Park, I guess he goes through it with his girlfriend or ex-girlfriend or whoever the hell she is, where the saying "drive a nigga to drink," she drive his ass to drink. Literally, he will get on Instagram Live and go on a whole rant about how he's gonna kill himself and he's gonna hurt his girlfriend and he don't give a fuck a lot about life anymore. And then the very next day he'll get back on there and apologize for his actions. You know what I'm saying?
Damn. This is a regular thing, Rashad, that he be doing?
Yeah, all the time. I mean, he's slowed down. He hasn't done it as much lately, but like the past couple of years, Ray Park was on one where fans in the comments, fans were like really concerned for his well-being. Like, bro, like, are you okay? You need to get some help.
Like, I'm concerned. Like you hear the surprise in my voice. I'm like, I'm thinking, I would have never guessed that. That's crazy.
Oh yeah, he threatened suicide a few times on live. Yeah.
You know what, man? Like if I even hear that once, I don't play with that, Rashad, because after what happened to my boy Jason David Frank, Tommy from Power Rangers, I'm like, if somebody so much as twitches the wrong way, I'm a flying like Superman to help him, Rashad. Like you can't play that no more.
Yeah, but I mean, I haven't seen him lately though do that, but I know at one point it was scary.
That sounds scary, and that's coming from me. Like that's not good.
Well, Rashad, isn't Ray Park still like helping on some Star Wars projects, or is that done like helping with choreography and that stuff?
Well, last I heard, he was doing like a lot of Comic Cons and stuff like that. So he'll make appearances and take pictures with fans and stuff like that. But as far as actually participating in Star Wars, I think the last thing he did was he did the motion capture for the last season of Clone Wars when he fought Ahsoka. He actually did that. So that's the last Star Wars thing I remember him being on.
What I miss?
Chipmunk was trying to get in.
Oh, my fault. Yeah, I was just if he pops back in again.
Purp, you missed it, man. I went into shock based upon what Rashad just informed me of, man. I had no idea about that. Nope.
Yeah, Purp, you knew about Ray Park, right? How Ray Park was tripping on Instagram.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I had to think about it for a second. All right. Getting back on track. Couple things I had. Things I wanted to kind of ask y'all. Going back to like movies that are coming out in 2026. What movie you think is going to perform better? Shrek 5 or Toy Story 5? They both come out in the same. Why?
The thing with Toy Story is, especially after the fourth. Well, the fourth movie made $1 billion, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
I think.
If I'm not mistaken.
I think Toy Story it's already solidified and it did its thing. People been wanting Shrek for like a while now, especially people I've been seeing like bringing up all the old Shrek memes and stuff. All the Lord Farquaad. Remember when the Avengers game came out and everybody was saying Black Widow looked like Lord Farquaad in the trailer?
Yeah, I remember. Yeah, it was trash.
Even though the Shrek movies haven't been good since the second one, people have been kind of starving for Shrek. So I think if Shrek 5 is going to be like a return to form for Shrek type of film, I think everybody's going to be really anticipating this more because Shrek has took an absence for a while now.
It's been 16 years.
Yeah, he's been absent. He's been out the game. Even look. And the reason I say this, look at the recent upcoming new Beetlejuice movie. I didn't think people was going to be interested in seeing a second Beetlejuice movie, but look how long since Beetlejuice came out, and now people are like, "Dang, a new Beetlejuice movie? Let's go see that." So I think the same thing could happen for Shrek.
Dude, Dot, do me a favor. Message Chill, see if he wants to hop back in. That's just steps away.
Okay.
But Rashad, what do you think about this? Like, what do you think's gonna?
Personally speaking, for me, I want to see Shrek 5 because I think Toy Story has run its course. I think that it told the full story, what it needed to tell. Even though I did like the fourth movie, I felt like it was unnecessary. As I felt 3 wrapped it up perfectly. But as far as like overall, I think people will gravitate more towards Toy Story just because it's Disney, it's Pixar, and they just do astronomical numbers. You know what I'm saying? So I think that Toy Story 5 will beat Shrek. But me personally, I want to see Shrek though.
Okay, Terrence, what about you?
Yep. To me, it just requires no thought. Toy Story 5 is gonna stump the shit out of it. And look, Shrek. I know like Shrek hasn't had a movie in like a long time, and I'm pretty sure it will do well. But I just think that Toy Story is so iconic, so classic, so legendary that somehow the third movie should have been the end, and that was great. And then they did the fourth movie, and the same thing happened. I feel like that's going to be a trend where we're like, oh, okay, y'all wrapped it up. All right, no more. And then they're like, nah, next one. And then they keep finding a way. So to me, as long as the quality is there, I think that there's a certain comfort and safe factor in Toy Story, and that you're always going to have a bunch of different generations turn out for it and bring their kids and everything. Plus, Woody and Buzz is damn cool. As much as I like my boy Shrek, but Woody and Buzz, they the ones, man. So I think Toy Story 5 is gonna make more.
Would it shock you if Shrek did better?
No, it would not, and I'll tell you why. Because me personally, I don't like hate the Shrek sequels, but I don't think they're as good as the first one. I think the first one is so good, and that really solidified a lot of humans' love for the characters, that with them, it would be foolish to count them out. So it would not surprise me, but if I had to put money on which one would do better, I got to go with Toy Story 5.
Okay, okay. Now I'm gonna switch it up because this is gonna be another 2026 matchup. Toy Story 5 or Super Mario Brothers 2?
Toy Story 5.
I'm gonna still go Toy Story, man. I'm gonna still go Toy Story.
Rashad, why is that?
Because, man, Disney Pixar is like WWE. You know what I'm saying? Illumination is like AEW. Even though it can go toe to toe with them, but still, Disney Pixar is the bigger brand, the more popular brand, and that's what people are gonna, go towards. So that's why I say Toy Story 5.
Okay. Terrence, you had a crazy reaction.
Yeah, that just my brain. That's a great matchup. Holy shit! Like, shit. Okay, so what I just said about Toy Story 5, right? But then you had to put it up against Mario and Luigi, and that first movie made $1 billion. So I think that now that humans know what they're gonna get with that, then they're more at ease, and then I feel like there's might be even more excitement for the sequel. So I think because you're talking about the second movie as opposed to the fifth one, I feel like there might be just a smidget more enthusiasm to see what happens with the second Mario Brothers movie. And on the off chance that there might be some stragglers, if the word of mouth is good for Super Mario Brothers 2, I think it might be able to beat Toy Story 5.
Okay. Yeah, because like it's it's been at the time 3 years since the first one, so yeah, I feel like the anticipation for Super Mario Brothers 2 is pretty high, and that has a possibility they can do it even higher. And Illumination can go head to head with Pixar, so they've shown that.
What the
thing? That's a good matchup. Nope, I'm conflicted.
Hey, Purp, but the thing I'm kind of.
Let me know your thoughts.
I think the Super Mario Brothers 2 movie will do good. I think it'll do financially well, just like Toy Story 5. But I'm wondering, out of the two, that's why I gave my answer for Shrek. Like, who's going to potentially leave the lasting impact as a film after? Because the Super Mario Brothers movie did make $1 billion, but I'm keeping it a buck. People barely talk about that stuff.
Like, people barely talk about Toy Story 4. You know what I'm saying? So
right, but that's the thing, because Toy Story 4, in my opinion, was not needed. It was a good. I wouldn't say it wasn't needed at all. Because as Terrence said, 3 closed it all up. 4 was just it just played it safe. It was another safe Toy Story movie. It wasn't bad, but it was safe. And I think Toy Story 5 will be another safe Toy Story film that's going to make probably another $1 billion. Super Mario Brothers 2. The first one, to me, didn't leave no huge lasting impact. And I think just off the strength of the Mario brand and the fact that the movie probably did better internationally is why it didn't make its $1 billion. Mario always been iconic long before this movie, so it was like guaranteed that money.
That's true. Yeah. It's going to be an interesting matchup. I don't know what exactly the dates. I know Toy Story comes out like June or something like that. And then like Shrek 5 comes out like a couple weeks after. So if all these dropping, like, yeah, this is gonna be a crazy year for animation because you also have the Ninja Turtle sequel. You got Avatar coming out with their movie with like Aang and all of them older. What else they got?
I think my end was maybe messing up. Did I hear it right when K Dot said that it didn't have a lasting impact, the Super Mario Brothers movie?
Yes, he said that.
Because when I left that theater, I had an accident, K Dot. I'm telling you, that had a lasting impact on me. I was hopping on the cars and everything.
Well, Purp, when I say that, I mean it like this, right? And I'm not saying it's on the same level. I'm not saying it's the Super Mario Brothers movie is better, but Captain Marvel also made $1 billion, but nobody talks about that shit. They talk about it more negatively, but it didn't leave a lasting impact. That was like, damn, there was an iconic score. There was an iconic, line from there.
I see what you're saying, K-Dot, because I see what you're saying, because with me, I did like the Super Mario Brothers movie, but then like rewatchability wise, it didn't have the rewatchability that I wanted it to, because me and my son tried to watch it again at home, and about midway through we put on something else. You know what I'm saying?
Dang.
Yeah, like for example, look at Black Panther 1, right? Made $1 billion. Has some even iconic lines that you remember, like Yibon Bay. Even M'Baku shouting, going, like people remember that stuff. So Mario Brothers, the movie was good, but it was like you made $1 billion, but you didn't leave no.
So you expect the movie to have a little bit more quotables.
There's a bunch of
maybe an iconic theme.
Come on, man.
Yeah, like an iconic theme in it. Like look at the Batman movie, right?
Peaches.
Like look.
Yo, Peaches was legit. Come on, kid. Like.
I'm not saying it was. I'm not saying it wasn't legit, but look at like the Batman, right? The movie made 700 something million,
right?
But that Batman theme, that's the lasting thing that's gonna be like.
That should go hard.
Okay, I'll give you that. I'll be playing that sometimes, but yeah.
So with Toy Story 5 story, apparently there's going to be multiple malfunctioning like Buzz Lightyears, like are going to be the villains, or they're going to do something with technology, like because you saw like the little promotional thing. It's like a girl or boy on their tablet while Woody and them is looking at them.
Buzz is going to be the villain. Like my boy Buzz, like he
they said like an army of like malfunctioning, but it's sort of like some like
Attack of the Killer.
Some I was gonna say small soldiers with major ship hazard protection. That's what makes me think about
it. See, that goes back to what Rashad was saying about emotional weight. If they make now I'm getting emotional. You can't do that to my boy Buzz. I don't want to see him done dirty in that move. See, nope. See.
Yeah, kind of like how they did your boy Dom and was it Fate of the Furious, where they try to make Dom kind of a villain or whatever.
Hey, Rashad, that broke my heart. I'm telling you, the eyes watered up. I was like, no, Dom.
Yeah, He turned heel for a minute.
Yeah.
Oh my God, we're getting fucking Fast 11, and was it next year or is it 2026?
Oh, I can't wait because they got their asses beat in Fast X. So.
Yeah,
I just feel like Fast X came out like 12 years ago. Like,
no, that was last year, right? Wasn't that last year?
Yeah, so it's like, what the fuck?
Wow,
that's crazy. So the matchup, Superman versus Fantastic Four. What's going to do better next year?
Based off the stills, I'm gonna say Superman wins that battle.
I'm gonna say Superman. Fantastic Four hasn't. This is the thing with Fantastic Four. The MCU has to prove itself with the Fantastic Four. The Fantastic Four, I like the 2005 movie, very likable cast. Movie was still meh. Second movie was still meh. That 90s Fantastic Four thing they tried to do, the thing got scrapped. Trash. They really this is the MCU really has a lot riding on this because they have to. This needs to be excellent. It can't just be a mediocre Fantastic Four movie. Superman, while I like Superman,
I was just about to say that. there's a lot riding on both sides with DC and Marvel.
Well,
You
yeah.
know,
Also, James
But I
needs to
think,
like
but
really
this
just start
Fantastic
the
Four's last chance though, because Superman's been hit and miss, but you have had some hits. Fantastic Four has never had a hit movie.
right.
I mean, the first one was kind of a modest hit, but they never had a hit movie. Like pretty much all of them got critically panned. So
but I think
this is the
I
last
think
chance.
I think it'll hurt more if Superman was bad, because like that's what you're starting this new universe off with. Like
That's true.
Marvel can kind of like they can get kind of not the benefit of the doubt, but they can fuck up on this. You know what I'm saying? They just be like, oh, that's what people are kind of expecting anyways. So you know what I'm saying? So if it surprises you, that could actually surprise you. But Terrence, what's your thoughts on it? Like Superman or Fantastic Four? Which one do you think's will do better?
That's another great question, Perp. All right, so Fantastic Four first, right? They have 4 movies. All of them are terrible. And for some reason, they thought it was cute to make Jessica Alba invisible. I would never forgive them for that. But to me, like, I don't agree with Pedro Pascal as Reed Richards. He don't look nothing like him. And this is coming from a dude that does like Pedro, but they keep putting him in everything. So I don't agree with that. The whole 60s thing and all that other stuff they doing, I don't agree with none of that. So I'm already turned off by it, even though I believe that Fantastic Four deserves a good movie. They really do. It don't even matter how I feel about their comics that are boring. They deserve a good movie. They're the damn Fantastic Four, right? However, if you compare that to Superman, I feel that they both have a lot riding on their projects. Like if Fantastic Four fails, they're gonna have to rearrange some of their stuff because they talking about bringing them and putting them in Avengers movies and stuff. They're gonna have to rework it, but that's the difference. Like they can rework it as to where the DCU after Creature Commandos come out, whether that's good or bad, we will want it to be good. But let's just say if that's bad, then you move to Superman. Superman is the most important comic book character, period, because of his entire history and what he's been able to do for all of them. As a result, you cannot mess up Superman, especially with your starting film, and think that everybody's going to care about your universe. So it's worse if Superman fails, even though Fantastic Four will have 5 failures in a row. At least it's connected to the MCU to where they can pivot. There ain't no pivoting when you just barely get to first base.
That's true.
Well, you know what? I just want to say this real quick. So I do agree with that for the most part, but I guess I feel the way I feel because let's say if the Superman movie does fail, right? He still will live in other outlets. He'll live like they'll still have Superman shows, they'll have animated movies, the Superman merch will still sell. If this Fantastic Four movie fails, like that's it for them. Like I think the comic already got canceled, and they're nowhere else. So if this movie dies, I think the Fantastic Four dies. Period. And they're gonna pull a Jonathan Majors and retcon them from the MCU. Period.
Okay, so with that point, with the specifically with the comics and stuff like that, that is true. But with Superman, we haven't had a Superman film on the big screen that everybody loves. Every time this motherfucker come out, it's divisive. Whether it's Superman Returns, whether it's Man of Steel, there isn't one where it's like 90% of the audience is like, I love this Superman movie. This is a great Superman. I need a Superman movie that gets the same praise as what happened with Superman 1 and 2 with Christopher Reeve, but in today's time period. That's what I want.
Yeah, I was about to say last time we got a great Superman film, I was in diapers. That's the last time we got a great Superman movie.
Right. And then when I got it, I was like maybe 5 or 6. And I was just, oh my God, a man can fly. That's amazing. They're like, no, little Terrence. This is a movie. I'm like, no, I just saw him fly. This is real. Yeah. Where can I meet him? And I got my heart broken and stuff. But but Purp though, to really do it, like between the two, I'm more excited about Superman, but I'm a little scared for both for what it could mean in different ways. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I feel you. Yeah. What up, BG? What up,
What up?
What's your thoughts? Well, first, Yeah, let me get your thoughts on like what do you think is going to be a better movie, Fantastic Four or Superman?
Superman, because James Gunn is doing it, and I think he was at the heart of a lot of the success of the MCU when they had their best movies and their best run. So I think he's taking that magic over to DC, and I'm not quite sure if the MCU is back on track. I'm kind of looking at Deadpool as an outlier right now. It doesn't seem like it's a part of any sort of trend. So it's a great box office hit, and it was a pretty good movie, but I don't think that's any sort of trend for the MCU. So if asking me to go which one would be best, I think it'll be Superman.
And I think the way that James is going about like K-Dot, do you remember his whole process of like he said he's not going to make a movie unless there's a script being made first. Before you.
So, like for example, the Batman movie's not even really in production yet. Their script isn't even ready yet. The superhero movie, I think they said the script is ready and are looking for a director, but they're not going to put nothing in production until a script is somewhat ready. So
he
announced like Booster Gold and all this other stuff, but they're not in active production until the script is a go. Like Peacemaker's being filmed, script is ready.
Okay.
Superman is done filming, script was obviously completed and created. Creature Commandos is done, script was already done ahead of time.
Well, okay, so I trust James Gunn, but it's one of those things because he says that he knows DC characters, and I believe him, but a lot of humans don't understand how complex DC characters are because a lot of their stuff is all over the place. But when you really get someone that knows what they're doing, it needs to really hit. And my thing is like, imagine if something is good or great, but then nobody shows up to see it. That would just be tragic to me. I don't want that to happen to DC movies.
Watchmen.
And Terrence, one thing I do appreciate about Gunn, and I say this about any other DC director we did get, and he's really the only one that done it. I never seen a DC director this like talk about comics this much. You know, he is the head of DC Studios. He has to promote comics too. But like when Zack Snyder was doing DC movies, the only thing comics he kept referring was Dark Knight Returns. I think that's the only comic he ever mentioned.
But Zack Snyder admitted, recently that he didn't have creative control. He was just a director.
Right. Difference. Right, but what I'm saying is like we never really had a DC director this in like even Nolan. I'm not saying Nolan wasn't inspired by any comics. He obviously did refer to some, but like I never really heard him talk about Batman comics like that or bring them up or mention them. He talked about how he went about his own idea for the movie. But you don't get a lot of DC directors that like Gunn right now promoting comics, talking about comics. He's talking about comics more than the movies. I see it on his Instagram page all the time. He's promoting
that's true, and that's good because that also proves what I've been saying for over 12 years, which is they don't read the comics, and you can tell based off of what they do with the movies and shows. Any real DC fan can tell you they don't read anything. So if you don't read something, you're just shooting in the dark. Maybe it'll work, maybe it won't, but you're missing a lot of the prime ingredients to really make that shit special. And it's sad because it's there, but they don't utilize it. So James Gunn, with as much as I've seen him talk about Superman and Martian Manhunter and all these characters, I was like, okay, it sounds like you know what you're doing. I hope this shit can translate because I don't know how many times humans are going to give DC a chance. They'll give Marvel a million chances nowadays, but with DC, you so much as get a shoe color wrong, the movie is getting boycotted.
I wouldn't say that. Joker is evidence of that, in my opinion.
Well, Joker did $1 billion.
In my opinion, they got a lot of shit wrong with that.
Well, here's the thing, though. Joker is an anomaly because Joker is a Batman villain. And when it comes to Batman, it's been that way for 70 years that there's an inherent curiosity for what they're going to do. But that doesn't work that way with the majority of other DC characters. Even with Superman, being as well known as he is, like that emblem is second only to the Christian cross. But yet, if you do Superman the wrong way, humans don't show up to see that.
Well, you know what I'm saying? The biggest complaint that I'm hearing from DC fans is that, you know, their frustration is you have access to all these characters. Warner Brothers have access to all these characters, unlike Marvel, where you have all these different legal shit where they can use certain characters, they can't use certain characters, they can't give certain characters their own movies. You have access to not only the whole DC universe, but like you said, Terrence, Superman and Batman are the two most popular superheroes ever. You know what I'm saying? Batman, Superman, and Spider-Man are like the holy grail of superheroes. It's like you have all these, and you can't give us good fucking movies with these characters that you have.
It can't even hit $1 billion. Like it made 800 million, but it's just like, damn, it's crazy that Deadpool and Wolverine hit $1 billion before Batman and Superman. There's something wrong there.
That's insane to me. Like, Perp, that's what I've been saying. I'm like, do you know that it's sad when you have 3 Ant-Man movies and we get 1 Superman movie every 30 years? The shit don't make sense to me. These are like D tier level characters, but these A tier ones, it's like they don't care. They don't put the same amount of energy, or they just hire all the wrong humans to work on them. And they all say the same thing. Oh, you're going to love it. It's going to be different this time. And then every time it seems to be a bunch of divisiveness. That's not my Superman. That's not my Batman. And it causes problems.
And I think with Gunn, if y'all see how he's handling things on set, he's been talking with Jerry Siegel and Joe Shuster's family. He's also been talking with Reese. He's going to have his son cameo in his movie. And I think the previous regime, I don't know why they did this, but you know, it's people with who had big wigs with money, but they was burning bridges. They was stepping over the Reese family. No, not Reese. Jerry Siegel and Joe Shuster's family. Mm-hmm. They also need to go through them to do these Superman movies. They can't just do them like that. But Gunn is trying to rebuild relationships that Warner Brothers prior to David Zaslav has broken. To be fair, David Zaslav has also burned some bridges, you know, like canceling the Batgirl movie like that. I'm not saying it should have never came out. What I'm saying is you was doing a movie and in the middle of production you said, let's cancel it. What the fuck?
You know what else is a problem?
At least put it on fucking streaming or something. At least put it on streaming. You just gonna cancel it? You got Michael Keaton up in it too.
You know what else is a problem? So if I look at the scope of their movies, like not the animated ones, most of the animated ones are goated. You know, maybe not recently, but you know, over the last 20 years. But in terms of their live action material, if I look at their live action material, a lot of their shows to me, depending on which ones, like for example, Stargirl, created by Jeff Loeb, right? Or Jeff Johns rather, like that show is very accurate to the comics and faithful, but nobody watched it, right? So that's a problem. I'm like, so whenever they decide to hit, the audience is not there because they pissed them off so much. Or they'll do something like Doom Patrol, which is definitely one of the best comic book shows I've ever seen in my life, but most people didn't watch it.
Yeah.
Just saying.
And it didn't really, they didn't know what to do like promotion wise. It's the same thing like
even Stargirl, very good, very closely accurate to what Jeff Johns was telling with that comic. And then what happened was not a lot of people watched it because, as Terrence said, DC burned so many bridges and pissed people off. If like the CW had people in for a while and people was like, well, we might as well finish it. But like the amount of trash over the years from the CW, I give them props for Connected Universe, but you can't.
That's the problem though. Like I'm one of the few individuals that have watched the entirety of the Arrowverse, right? So I can help humans navigate through the trash.
You're a brave man. You're a brave man.
But the thing is that there is a lot of good in there, but it's mixed with dog shit though. So you have to help humans navigate past the trash because they're not going to sit there through all those shows because they're very long and they're not going to wait for whatever season or whatever episode. They rather watch something else. And I understand that, but that is a problem. And then you get to the movies and then you get humans right away from just the drop of a trailer. I'll watch it later. I'm not going to go see this. That's a problem.
Well, let me ask this question about Superman, though. Do you think it's also a challenge that the character, I don't want to say so much as outdated, because even though he is iconic, but it's like, the popular characters now in movies are characters with edge. You know what I'm saying? Deadpool, Wolverine, R-rated. You know what I'm saying? The characters that are dark, they curse. You know what I'm saying? They kill motherfuckers. Superman is an alien from Krypton that came here to Earth, raised in Smallville, fights for truth, justice, in the American way. To most people, that's considered corny. You know what I'm saying?
Check this out though. See, that's a great question, but the way that I always answer it has been the same. If you have read enough Superman comic books, he has all the edge that he needs. It's kind of like in that show Superman and Lois. They perfectly captured all of the dimensions of the Superman character. The fact that when humans think about Superman, they tend to focus on the wrong things. Like the common thing is like, oh, I can't relate to him. I'm like, what are you talking about? He's just as human as you are. In fact, he feels more emotions than you do. But that's why the character is conflicted. And it's his confliction that can give him edge if you tell the right stories. Like I hope that James Gunn is going to do something with Brainiac, because then you can really bring some edge to my boy Superman in a way that humans have not seen before. But you have to tell that story.
The problem with Superman and to that depiction and that human depiction is that we don't necessarily need a Superman story. We need a Clark Kent story. That's the problem. We need to connect to Clark Kent.
You have to do both, right? I agree. You have to do both. It's kind of like you can't just do only Batman. You have to do Bruce Wayne as well. So the problem is that when it comes to these movies and shows, with the exception of Superman and Lois and Smallville, is that they only focus on one side of the equation, but you have to do the whole thing. And there are thousands of stories that encapsulate that. But how can you adapt it if you don't know that it exists? And then most humans, because they don't read comics, their reference to Superman begins and ends with a show or movie that they watch. And I'm here to tell you that that is nothing compared to what's in the comics. Absolutely nothing.
Well, that's on the director, and that's what I'm suggesting. What they need to do, or what needs to happen to make Superman more relatable in 2024, is they have to focus in on the story of Clark Kent and see what it means to be Clark Kent in whatever society of Metropolis that they put together and that they depict. I think the better Clark Kent is as a character. I think Superman, with the red cape and flying around, we all understand that character. We all understand the superhero elements to that character. But what grounds him as a person, or what does he struggle with as an alien posing to be a person? So can you make that relatable to a general audience? If you can do that, you can have a successful Superman character in 2024. If not, he's going to be boring.
Right. I agree, because the conversations that Clark Kent has with Jonathan and Martha, and how he navigates, how he needs to disguise himself, what it takes to blend in, the struggles that he goes through, his frustration, even before he puts on the cape, that shit is compelling as fuck. It's like, just read, like when you read that stuff, it's like you damn near crying and shit. You like, damn, this is fucking crazy. Like, this is an alien. I'm not supposed to be caring about him like that, but it's the way that they write it. So then once you get to the superhero aspects, it just feels good. It's like you're all the way behind him instead of partially behind him.
And also, another thing too, I think, and this one I'm kind of glad stuff like The Boys, Invincible, and all this stuff came out, because that we got this stuff in the early 2000s. Well, Watching came 2009, right? Yeah, Watching came 2009.
Yeah.
It was that dark, edgy shit we needed in the superhero genre to get us away from the whole fluffy, cutesy shit. And it kind of phased out for a bit. And then the fluffy, cute shit came back. The Boys came out, caused some division with this comic book shit. And like the Boys shows so far have been better than the MCU, which is dominating with especially the amount of quantity you're putting out. I think Superman is James Gunn can really bank on bringing back and showing a superhero, and I think that's what the film is going to be about. That's why you see, and as Sharon said it, and I'm not disagreeing, that's why you see on that set photo we saw Green Lantern in that suit. Hawk Girl in them suits. They're all wearing the same suits, and they look like what the boys universe is. They're all celebrities. They're working for these big corporations. And I think Superman in the movie, because it says it's going to be a flip on the Kingdom Come comic, he's going to be all like, we need to get back to being what heroes are supposed to be.
He inspired.
And Gunn talked about that. And Gunn pretty much said that's kind of what this movie is. Like, Superman is going to be inspiring heroes that lost their way. Guy Gardner is an older hero in this universe, and he's over here dressing in he's dressing in not the Green Lantern uniform, but even he wears a different uniform than most of Green Lanterns. He's like a rebel, but he's dressing up in Maxwell Lord's corporate superhero costumes like a uniform. Like, that's not Guy Gardner. He doesn't wear the typical Green Lantern uniform. Why is he wearing the same uniforms as other people? He lost his uniqueness, and Superman is going to help them find it again. Find out what makes you stand out as a hero.
Check this out. If James Gunn can pull off,
what's up, Anso? Go ahead, Terrence.
You know what I'm saying? Like, if James Gunn can pull off what I saw in Smallville, which there's an episode where the Legion, they come from the future because Clark is fucking up so much. They have first they save him from a villain, and then they tell him, you have to get back on track. If you don't become Superman, we don't exist as heroes. There are schools and shit that are made in honor of you because of all of the evil that you stop, all of the people that you inspire as Superman and as Clark Kent. And Clark was just like, I don't understand that. Like, how can I live up to that? It's like, we can't tell you, but you need to listen to the fact that we time travel just to let you know how important this shit is. Like, if he can translate that to this movie that he's doing, that shit would mean the world to so many people, that you can show the level of importance of him based upon how other characters are treating him, whether they're treating him good or bad. And he just inspires a bunch of other individuals to be better because of the struggles that he goes through that makes him great.
God damn, sound like Fantastic Four about to get their ass kicked, man.
It depends. It depends. It comes down to marketing and the juxtaposition, because you would have thought Batman versus Superman would have beat out Civil War.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then Civil War was just a flat out better movie structurally.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, with the Russo brothers. So that's the thing. That's why I trust James Gunn in this case, because I think fundamentally he's a better movie maker. So whatever direction he takes is going to be a better movie fundamentally. Because look how he humanized Rocket Raccoon in the third Galaxy movie. He made his story very relatable, very emotional. And I think if he can do the same with the Clark Kent or with the Lois Lane or whoever he chooses to depict to be the main protagonist of that movie, I think the fundamental movie will be better, which will help it outdo Fantastic Four.
Right. And that's important, right? Because I'm like, I don't want to hear no excuses no more. If you can make a talking fucking tree and a raccoon compelling, and you can't do the same for DC characters, I don't know how to help you.
Hey man, I appreciate it, man. I haven't seen you in a minute. Thank you for the $5 super chat. Appreciate it. Thank you for the happy birthday. I haven't seen that, man. But yeah. I wanted to go back to something because I know Guru didn't chime in on this. Let me go back to it because we were going back and forth because we kind of had this discussion like a while ago. Yeah, Shrek 5 or Toy Story 5. What do you think will do better? I know we kind of talked about this, but
yeah, I just because we did talk about this just quickly. I think Toy Story 5 is going to do better because I think Toy Story is a bigger franchise. I think a lot of people are anticipating on seeing Shrek return, and I think that'll be it's more of a highly anticipated movie, Shrek. But I think fundamentally, when you get Buzz on the screen and you get that Pixar logo and you get Woody on the screen, I think that franchise is just bigger. So I think it's going to ultimately do better at the box office. I'm not even saying it's going to be a better movie than Shrek. I just think that it'll actually pull in more money because of the legacy of Toy Story. So I want to go see Shrek more. You know, I'm anticipating seeing Shrek more.
Right.
But I just think Toy Story will do better.
But here's the interesting thing though, is that Toy Story is coming out first. So, and I think it's coming out like 2 or 3 weeks before Shrek 5. So like it could kind of definitely stall its momentum a little bit. But here's a real kicker, because everybody was kind of like, this is a crazy matchup. But Toy Story 5 versus Super Mario Brothers 2.
Yeah, we talked about this too. Before I give an opinion on that, I would need to see the Super Mario 2 trailer. So are we bringing in Wario? Are we bringing in Yoshi? Like, what are we doing to expand that story? If those characters are going to be there, Wario, Luigi, Yoshi, then I think that it could outdo Toy Story. But it's going to need to have those additional characters and a more compelling story, because I think the first movie was good, but the story wasn't very compelling. So if they can depict some more conflict in this universe in the trailer, I think that it could definitely outdo Toy Story.
Okay. Shout out to Anzo for the $5 super chat. Use this for one of those crappy movies you like. I certainly will. Appreciate it, bro. But yeah, it's gonna be interesting. I think this is gonna be uh, a very interesting year for animation. You know what I'm saying? Because we kind of went down all this. Like, you got the Avatar, Ninja Turtles, and Pixar is probably coming out. What is Pixar dropping in 2025? Does
That's
Incredibles 3 have a release date yet, or like a release window?
Shit, I have no idea.
Gotta make me clear. Yep. Okay. Leo say Shrek 5. Oh yeah, Elio. Every time I hear that name, Elio, I think of Elio's pizza, like off rip and stuff like that. But
That's a throwback. Yeah.
my thing about like Pixar, right? I'm just so bored with their style and just their art direction. It's just a lot of their movies just feel the same, and I wish they would kind of, because you saw a little bit in Soul where they kind of switched it up a little bit and stuff like that. They got a little bit more creative, and I want to kind of see like Pixar really do something like groundbreaking, or just doing something like, what's the next step for Pixar? Like, how are we going to push this technology even more? Because it just seems like they're on this like, oh, if it's not broke, don't fix it type of thing. Because it's just a lot of their character designs and just a lot of their movies just kind of, they got good stories, but it's just, I wish there was just more with the presentation, just the animation and stuff like that. I don't know if I'm the only one that feels that way, but
I don't know, because the animation in Toy Story 4 was fucking crisp. Like, compared, like if you watch all of them, especially like go back to the first one, then see how far they come in 4. Yeah, the animation in 4 was crazy, fucking lifelike.
all right, Anzo, no problem. Elemental was cool. It's just, I don't know, man. I'm kind of just over like the 3D animation kind of trend. Unless if you're doing like a Spider Verse, or like what they do like with Ninja Turtles, making it like making it look like a comic, or like making it look like something 2D or something like that.
But I heard that shit, especially like with the Spider Verse movies. I heard that animation is hard as fuck to do. That's why they
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, we need more of that, like more groundbreaking stuff. Like, let's take, like, we have all these animated movies that make billions and billions of dollars, but it's just like they seem like they just crank out the same movie and stuff like that. They don't really like, let's push this animation. Let's do something completely new, or just create a new element, or what I'm saying, create something. You know what I'm
saying? I can agree with that in terms of that kind of animation style, that kind of I don't know how to best call it, but that Pixar 3D model, came out in 95, 96 with the original Toy Story. And it simply looked the same all of these years later. We're almost 20 years removed, or 30 years, from that design model. And they still use it for most of their movies. So you would think that they would be doing something different with that 3D model, but it all kind of looks the same. I don't have a great word to describe the look, but you would think after 30 years they would advance the creativity behind that look.
Generic.
It's become generic. Initially, it was groundbreaking, right? We've never seen anything like that before, at that, and it was that crisp and looked that well. But it still looks very crisp and well, but it's still that same art style. And if you look at animation, if you go, let's say, from the 90s to the 70s, you can see a clear difference between Hanna-Barbera cartoons and like what we get in the late 90s with some of the cartoons. You can see the evolution even in 2D artwork, but in this 3D world, we're kind of still getting the same thing. So it would be incumbent on Pixar to kind of refresh what they're doing with their 3D modeling.
I think that's another reason why that makes anime so compelling, because you look at some of like even the newer stuff that's coming out now, it's just getting better and better, and it's just like there's like a lot of really talented artists, and like you'll see something like Attack on Titan looks something completely different from Jujutsu Kaisen, looks completely different from something like One Piece or Dragon Ball Super or Vinland Saga or My Hero Academia or Kaiju number 8 or Solo 11. Like all these look really different, but there's some artists that just have worked on a lot of these projects, and they have that signature style or something like that you could point out. But all those animations have their own kind of personality and whatnot.
Here's what I'll say with that, Purp. Hollywood, a lot like a lot of creative individuals, they have what they call copy syndrome. Whenever something works, everybody wants to do the same fucking thing. So thereby in turn, creativity is rare. But what it should be is that you can look at something and maybe be inspired by it, but you should be inspired to do your own thing so you can stand out instead of being compared to it because you're basically the same thing. And I think that's what's missing a lot. And then like how you mentioned with anime, I used to watch a fair amount of anime, not so much anymore, but I used to. But even when I was growing up watching the different anime, even then the different ways that they would draw and animate the characters, they always looked different. And that was part of the reason that it was engaging, like the way that they would draw them, the way that the action would look. And I'm like, man, fuck these cartoons. Like, let me throw on some anime, and that's how I felt for a long time. So I think that you look at nowadays that is the advantage that anime has over a lot of what Hollywood is doing, because a lot of Hollywood's like, oh, Into the Spider-Verse, that's pretty cool. Let's do that same type of animation. Oh, Toy Story, people like how that looks. Let's do the same thing, but just call it something different. And that's really sad. You have a lot
I think Kung Fu Panda kind of, because I saw Kung Fu Panda 4, and they kind of took the Spider-Verse style a little bit. If you notice, I was like, wait a minute, that looks a little bit like Spider-Verse with the whole.
Yeah, they did that with Puss in Boots. So Puss in Boots kind of had that.
Puss in Boots. Yeah, yep.
Yeah, that's true. And see, but see, that's the thing that I was saying earlier about it's safe. When you know that something works and you do the same shit, it's safe. Because they get this kind of they get this fear like, oh, I don't know if it's gonna work, because they want to make money because it's a business first, and they're like, well, that's too risky. Let's just go with what works. But it's like the reason that it worked for those other things is because that's what it required. But your stuff may require something different. So then in the event that they don't reap the same financial benefits, they're sitting there scratching their heads like, I don't understand. It worked for these other projects. It's like, well, you're not those other projects. How about you do your own shit?
Do my own thing. Yeah, like my own thing. Yeah, it's gonna be interesting. You know what I'm saying? Like, definitely like with the into the Spider-Verse is definitely a game changer as far as like the potential of where the future of animation could go 10 years from now, 20 years from now, and stuff like that. And it seems like they want to go back, like they kind of want to recapture that 2D kind of feel, because that's what people really like. You could kind of do more with 2D and stuff like that.
Your anime point is well taken, because look back at like anime and how it was in the 80s and early 90s with Akira and some of the early Gundam
Fist of the
stuff.
North Star and all that.
Yeah, all that shit was hand drawn and shit like.
And then by the end of the 90s, it was completely different. Just in a 10-year span, the artwork is completely different. And then compare what we're getting now to what we got, in the early 2000s, 20 years later. Completely different. Demon Slayer and how the Rumbling looked and all that completely blows out anything we were getting in the 2000s. But you can't say the same for Pixar. You can't say what they're doing right now blows away, Cars or Ratatouille or Wall-E, because it's all about the same. It still looks about the same.
No,
crisper for sure, more details on certain things, but it generally looks the same.
Looks the same, yeah. Nah, dog, I remember when Street Fighter 2, the animated movie, first came out, like 94. I don't know if y'all old enough to remember that, but man.
The Jones Fire, that was Jones Fire. Yeah.
What? That shit was like that. That was groundbreaking at the time. Yeah, like from Fist to the North Star to that. It's crazy.
Oh shit! Did I hear that right? Street Fighter 2, the animated movie. That's my shit right there, y'all. That's man.
Like, do you remember when that first came out? How groundbreaking the animation was?
Yep, I remember. I was in middle school when that shit came out.
Yeah, same here.
And I remember I was talking to Terrence about this like a while ago, talking about Berserk, like even that animation and stuff, and how trippy that shit gets, and that shit needs a remake as well too, because it's like because that do really well to kind of see Berserk have the like resurgence and stuff.
But I mean, where can Disney Pixar go from here though, man? Like, I don't know.
They showed you at D23. It's all about sequels.
Yeah.
And a little bit of originality here, like original stories or some shit. That's Zod's here. What up, Zod?
Hey, what's up? I heard it's somebody's birthday and anime, so you summoned me.
Yeah, no, we were just talking about like Pixar and even Disney animation, how lackluster their art style is, and how it doesn't seem like they're trying to evolve, and talking about all this stuff, different stuff. Like, I don't know if you've been tuning in and stuff like that.
As a matter of fact, I heard your conversation because I was tuning in. I've been asleep for most of the day. I had some personal matters I had to take care of. Then I got a new setup, so I haven't been on as much as I wanted to. But I did want to say, on to your point, I went to see, for instance, Inside Out 2, which I got a lot of pushback on, surprisingly. And the funny thing is I didn't say it was a bad movie. If you look at my review, I gave it like an 8 or something like that. I said it wasn't that it was the bad, but like everybody here just reiterated, it was kind of the same. There was no big, bold kind of movements, different animation, stuff like that. And jumping off to anime, you can see 50 different anime, right? And I can guarantee you none of them are exactly alike. The animation style is a little bit different. The premises might be kind of the same, but the story, the characters, the way they pursue things. And to your guys' point, Disney, Pixar, and everyone else, they have a singular problem where they get either somebody who thinks out of the box and they have one good idea, and then the next 50 movies are that same idea. I don't even think you have to change the animation. You have to change how you're marketing the animation, right? You could have 50 animes that look like Dragon Ball Z, but I bet you none of the 50 animes will be the same exact plot or story. I've watched cooking and soccer animes and been fascinated. I'll just say it, like cooking, soccer, basketball. Bitchy was watching with me the other day a soccer anime, Sabatsu or something like that, and she was watching it with me because the first episode was like this little kid has a soccer ball, he falls out in the street, this truck hits him, and the fucking soccer ball saves him, and she was just like, I gotta watch this. That was so ridiculous, right? And she doesn't like anime. And that's what I'm saying. That's what Disney and Pixar need to do. They used to do that. They used to have that X factor. Like, you look at Aladdin, Little Mermaid, and Lion King, right? The biggest ones. None of them are the same. Like, some of the animation style is the same, but I would even argue the way that it's animated and scored is completely unique and different. Disney used to take those swings, and they don't anymore. It's not that their products aren't good. It's that they're safe. They're sanitized. They're for the masses. and I miss in general the feeling of not always playing it safe. So what, you think out of the box and it might be a sucky idea, but hey, at least you tried. And that's my issue with the big corporations now. There's no try. It's just put out some shit we've all seen 30,000 times. Somebody will think it's good. You get a few asses into seats, but it's nothing creative.
Doesn't
It's
stick to
not
the
what.
ribs. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
And to Sam Collins's point here with I've always said that like DreamWorks has, they kind of make more edgier. I don't like the term edgier, but like a little bit darker. They're not afraid to go a little darker. Like Puss in Boots' Last Wish, like that. The antagonist was death. Like that's a pretty
Right.
dark subject for a kids movie and stuff. And like that shit really went there. Um and the Wild Robot. I said that's going to be a sleeper hit for sure. Coming out next month and whatnot. It just looks different, a little bit something more refreshing. Doesn't look like a Pixar movie. It doesn't look like a Disney animated movie, or even looks like Illumination. Even Illumination kind of gets lazy from time to time and stuff like that.
Yeah, that was my whole point. Was like, look at D23, right? What were the announcements? First off, shout out to Marvel, man. They're making me look like an asshole this year because I've been like down on 90% of their stuff. And then they released a banger, and these announcements got me hyped now. So thank you, Kevin. You pulled me back in. But anyways, Marvel side was fire. But dude, Disney side, how do you make Snow White? Hold on, I just gotta say this, and this is not another bullshit the internet's talking about. How do you make Snow White the wicked queen, the who's the fairest of them all? You make her hotter than your lead. I'm sorry, like
Damn.
that was the stupidest marketing. Like, if you want to make that premise work, they should have swapped actors. I kept on thinking that.
You talking about Snow Latina? That one?
Yeah.
Yeah, she was Snow Latina. Yeah.
And this is what I'm talking about. So you got the BS safe Disney announcements. Nobody asked for a Mufasa. Like, some idiots will see it, but it's gonna be saying nonsense.
Hell, no, I ain't watching that.
Well, wait a second. Wait a second on Mufasa.
We did talk about.
We talked about this last night, and initially I had that same sentiment, but there is a hidden potential within Mufasa that could make it the greatest Disney movie of all time. And that hidden potential lies within Scar's character. If we can see a story of why Scar goes from a brother of Mufasa to wanting to see him kill Mufasa, that's akin to watching Anakin become Darth Vader.
Oh, no,
So
no.
I
Okay,
think
hold
there's a hidden
on.
potential within that story to provide incredible context, because Scar is the number one villain in Disney.
Now, Black Guru, I don't agree with you on the points. Love me some Scar. Jeremy Irons is my Scar, now and forever. But you're wrong. They already did that. It was called The Lion King 3, and it was the whole backstory of Scar, and it's already been laid out there.
I forgot about they made a third one.
Yeah, I forgot that too. Yeah,
I didn't know they made a third one either.
Yeah,
I know they made like a 2.5. I didn't know they made a 3.
Yeah, I remember 1.5 or 2.5. It was like Lion King 1.5 and then Lion King 2. Them was the only ones I seen.
There was 3. It had to do specifically with Scar. And so they already did the story, and guess what? No one went to see it. No one cared. This is my point. Like Black Guru, yes, I do believe in an alternate timeline. I see you, Marvel. Anyways, in an alternate timeline, your idea and how you're saying it, I don't dismiss that at all. I just want you to know that. Like, as a logical thinker, you probably have a good idea. But Disney does not, Black Guru. And
I know. I said the same thing. I said the same thing. I said that.
Yeah, because they gotta like, yeah, this sounds dope, but it's at the end of the day, it's still Disney.
Yeah,
Disney does not know how to
execute on that.
Disney does not know how to land a plane. They don't know how to land a plane. They know how to crash a plane, but they don't know how to land a plane.
Now, Black Guru, if you told me you were writing the script, I go, all right, I'll give it a go.
No, you make a good point, and that's a similar point I made about the topic. There's a hidden potential there, but like you said, I forgot about Lion King 3. I'm gonna go read up on it just to see how they depicted Scar's backstory. But also to your bigger point, I don't think Disney's going to be able to execute on the nuance and the character development and the emotional connection that they would need to develop to make that story akin to Anakin becoming Darth Vader. They just don't have the ability or haven't shown the ability to tell stories at that level, unfortunately.
Sam, to answer your question, you just answered for me what you put in that statement. It's Charlize Theron and Kristen Stewart, and I don't care what nobody says. Kristen Stewart fits Snow White. Charlize Theron, and you have to remember in that movie she was older, fits the Queen, the evil queen, and Snow White. You're talking about whoever the hell that other chick is. I know her name, but she pisses me off and I block it. And Gal Gadot. Okay.
Oh, Rachel Ziegler.
Thank you, Rachel. Can you tell me you think Rachel Ziegler is hotter than Gal Gadot? Because I'll tell you right now, you're a liar. You're lying to me. You're lying to yourself.
I mean, no. She's definitely not hotter. She's definitely not hotter than Gal Gadot. But I would give her the dick. But she ain't hotter than Gal Gadot. I'm just saying.
Not even.
I would too, but I'm saying that still doesn't mean she's hotter than Gal Gadot. She's not.
Absolutely not. I would shove her out the way, like toss her out a window if Gal walks in the room. That's it. That's it.
Man, fuck that movie.
Dude. And I'm sorry, the Seven Dwarves not being the Seven Dwarves, because we have to be politically correct. I don't think Disney realizes they just did the very thing that they were trying to champion the movie for. Okay, I understand the whole short people who can diversify
You're
their
under
roles.
water a little bit.
I'm sorry.
This is way over water right now.
Hold on, wait a minute. If they're in the Seven Doors, what the fuck are they?
The seven people.
Get the fuck out of here. We can't say
I'm not lying. I'm not lying.
You can't say little people no more.
You can't say that either?
Mm-mm.
Man, look, I should be canceled a long time ago. My daughter had to check me one time. I saw one of them at a Walmart, and I said, man, that's a weird looking midget right there. And my daughter said, "Ooh, Dad," she said, "Dad, you can't say that." I said, "Say what? You can't say the N word." I said, "Midget? Yes, you can't say that." I said, "What the fuck is wrong with midget?" Man,
What the fuck is wrong with midget?
I feel like it's more disingenuous with all of these terms. It almost comes off as condescending. You know what I mean? Like, it's not like you're being respectful anymore, but it's like they've said, okay, this word isn't proper. Fine, whatever. You want to use a different word. But then saying it makes me feel like I'm just trying to uphold some kind of standard instead of actually meaning it. And that's my issue with all of these changes. Like, if you want to make change, I feel like it should be something that we take a while to adopt to and get other people saying so that it feels natural. Because Rashad proved my point, right? I've said midget several times. My daughter has given me the side eye, and I'm like, I'm sorry, I forgot. But it feels like if I say little person, that's more fucking offensive than midget. I can't win.
What are you supposed to say? We can't say dwarf, little person, midget. What do we say then?
Exceptionally small person? I don't know.
Get the fuck out of here.
Microscopic person.
Microscopic.
Mini. What would be the PC version?
No. We're not doing the PC thing. You know, if they want PC, they can go cry in the PC corner. That's what they can do.
I guess so, but yeah, listen, I don't know, man. I'm definitely not watching Snow White. I ain't watching Mufasa. And I think I'd rather watch how Megatron and Optimus Prime became enemies than to watch that shit.
Oh my god,
that trailer didn't look too good to me.
I was going to say that shit looks whack too, man. But I'd rather watch that.
I heard good things. Like, as far as people coming out of seeing it, they said it's pretty damn good.
But cool. I mean, who cares? That's almost like we're gonna get an origin story how He-Man and Skeletor became enemies. Come on, man.
But this is what everybody been wanting. They want those Gen 1 Transformers and shit. Like,
yeah.
I mean,
but it was kind of weird though. Like it was kind of like what were they trying to do with that? Like, it was kind of hip hop ish, or they was like the character designs didn't quite look like Transformers. It was just it was too different. Like from I don't know. It may be good though.
It's yeah, I understand. Like it's before they become like the characters. You know what I'm saying? Like I agree. Like the trailer threw me off, but I think the second trailer that's just going around right now kind of sold me a little bit more on it. Like they actually get into their characters later on and shit. Like so.
But I mean, dude, do we need that story though? I mean, would you rather just have it Optimus Prime and Megatron are just fucking enemies, and that's just what it is? Like, there needs to be a whole thing where they were friends at one time, and then Megatron lost his mind that they became enemies. Like, I don't know. Some stories you just need to leave alone. I don't want to see how Duke and Cobra Commander hated each other. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to see that.
I don't know. I think that the thing that fascinates me about it is the fact of the giant mystery. Now, how they give us the answers will be super important. Like, just don't tell me they were at a barbecue and then, Optimus Prime said some foul stuff and now they're not friends. But I think, okay, so my lovely lady is the biggest Transformer fan in the world. She can literally name all the Transformers. I don't know, that's her thing. And she is like excited. Like, I don't have a choice. I'm going to see this movie. And and so I'm not the biggest fan, but I am a huge fan of Megatron, and I've always been in the camp that Optimus messed up the world, and then that Netflix shows came out and confirmed it, and me and Bitchy got into an argument because I was like, "Ha! I told you Optimus is a douchebag." But anyways, I am curious to see like, do they have a Smallville, Lex, and Clark kind of dynamic, or is it like I think with good writers you can have this compelling story that makes you hope that they'll be friends, but because we all know how Transformers ends, it makes it that much like satisfying and kind of heartbreaking.
It could be like Gus and Griffith and stuff like that. It could be like that type of relationship, or that'd be really dark, but that'd be really dark.
Yeah, I don't know. My whole thing is, I'd say just leave them as enemies, man. We don't need no explanation on why they fight each other. Just leave it as is.
Yeah. And that was my counterpoint. When we had a conversation about Mufasa, I was saying Mufasa and Scar. I do want to see kind of the downfall of Scar, but if y'all gonna fuck it up anyway, Disney, let's just keep him as enemy. Scar was always a piece of shit. Let's just keep it with that instead of they were friends at some point. Because if you make them friends, you have to make a compelling reason to why they're not friends anymore.
Right.
And if that's telegraphed, if that's a canned sort of story, if it's over some girl, if it's just something typical, then it's really to me not really worth going down that road. That road. So I just wish they wouldn't do that unless they had a compelling reason as to why they're not friends anymore.
It's probably over some cat. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but that's
probably over Nala's mama, because I don't care what nobody say. What's the name? Nala and Simba are cousins, man, and they was fucking.
That's wild.
No, that is like Disney. You want a course correct? Like, you got years of making up because your storylines are wild. They literally took the Grimm's brothers' storytelling and just twisted it slightly. But all them stories, if you originally looked them up, they're all messed up. So let's not pretend you've been a family company. Come on. Just drop the act. You could be dark. It's fine. Join us.
Yeah, they could really be killing. They could really be killing the game right now, but they just like I said, it's like they just be playing too safe. They'll just stepping on eggshells. Like,
look, Disney been dark forever, man. Just check out Pinocchio. That's one of the darkest Disney movies of all time.
Dude, they popped Bambi, killed Mufasa.
Yep.
Dude, man, Bambi's the Fox and the Hound.
Baby's mom got smoked.
Yeah, baby mama got smoked. Yeah, they been smoking motherfuckers on this.
Was I the only one cheering when Scar killed Mufasa? Like, am I an anomaly with that, or?
Yeah, you along with that.
No, there was some.
That was some
I'm
fucked
not
up
saying
shit.
I being a villain, I cheered, but you know what? Fuck Mufasa. I'm just saying.
Well, you know what? I
Hey,
got
when he
I
said
got it.
"Long live the king," like I was cheering. Like, my cousins were looking at me weird. They're like, "No, he's bad." I'm like, "But Scar is cool as fuck. Like, why can't I cheer for the villain?" Like,
No, but check it
Nah.
out.
Good
I got an interesting story about that. So, I think we was in the 10th grade when that movie came out, and we was watching it in class. Right, we had a substitute teacher, and we're watching that scene when it happens, and you can hear a pin drop. The class was like, because it was most of our first time watching it, and everybody said, "Oh my god, they killed him!" This one kid in our class, his name was Saul. Never forget it. This motherfucker comes out and says, "Wait a minute, aren't cats supposed to land on their feet?"
That's true.
And we all turned around fucking threw papers at him. And she's like, man, shut the fuck up, man.
I would have cried. I would have died laughing. He would have got me
That's
on that
funny.
one.
yeah.
He would have got me. I would have laughed on
But
that
but I
one.
mean, I'm not the only one that thinks Scar is cool, right? Like, Scar is beast. Like,
Not
as a
like
villain.
that. He like a cool. Yeah,
Right.
he the number one Disney villain, but in that moment, that wasn't no cheer for Scar moment.
Nah, he
Yeah,
killed his
no, it
brother,
wasn't
man.
for
Killed
me.
his
For me,
brother, bro.
I say fuck Mufasa. He got soft.
If he
He took
dies,
Yeah,
he
the
dies.
ball.
Mufasa was a chump, man. I was happy when he died. I don't care. Yeah.
Dude,
Nah,
Why?
Terrence
Like
is like
what?
my spirit
he was
animal.
saving his son, and he got killed by his own brother.
What up, Bonzo?
What's up?
Yeah.
Happy birthday, Purp.
Lonzo.
Thank you, thank you.
What
It's
up, guys?
good.
How you
What up?
doing?
What up?
Hey,
What's
brother.
your thoughts on what we've been talking about, like as far as who was we talking about? Oh, we just basically talking about like animation, current animation, like Pixar. You feel like they need to switch up their art style, like, or
Um,
is it just
no, I think Pixar is fine. I just think that they got to do some better movies and stuff, But I don't mind the
stories?
animation at all. Yeah, better stories. But I don't mind the
Yeah,
animation at all. I think the animation is still on point. But Pixar has always been ahead of the curve, so I think they need to do something to try and stay that. I don't know what they could do, but yeah, I'm
yeah.
okay with
That's what I meant. Like, you know, what I'm saying, it just feels like they've been kind of stale as far as like
it. Yeah.
not really like pushing the boundaries of like, yo, like you look at something like Into the Spider-Verse and Across the Spider-Verse, like that's doing something not really been done before, or just we haven't seen like that 2D kind of style come back in a 3D type of way, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I agree with you 100%.
Now
Man,
I want to ask you this question, and I want to ask this question too. Like in 2026, what do you think is gonna perform better, Shrek 5 or Toy Story 5?
Ooh.
oh
Oh.
shit, bro!
I
Like,
think. Go ahead, Zod. You go first.
oh man, how you throwing that at me? I was gonna say, God damn, I don't know how to answer this question. Okay, so here's my problem with Toy Story 5. I love that Tim Allen and all the gang, with Tom Hanks and everybody's getting back together. And I love the fact that because everybody bitches that they change things and they don't stay consistent, but then when we get something consistent, people bitch that it's the same thing they've always got. So pick a lane.
Facts.
But my whole point being is that I don't know which horse to back in this because I think Toy Story 5 is going to be what Toy Story 4 was. Safe, a good bet. People will enjoy it, but they're not going to try to do something out of the box. I think Shrek 5 is going to be my pick because Shrek, even if the concept was stupid and it didn't work, they go for it. And the two companies are vastly different. And I think they're going to try to be witty and different and clever. And I remember the first feeling I got from Shrek 1, and that's like my movie. And I don't know. For me, I'm going to have to take Shrek 5. I don't want any team to really lose in this because I love Toy Story, but I just got more attachment to Shrek. So I'm going to go off of the gut and say Shrek is going to be the movie that takes it for me, at least.
You know what? And I think your theory is good. I don't have an issue with it, but I will probably go with Toy Story because I don't remember the last Shrek being well received. And I think Toy Story was a little bit more well received than it, so I'd probably go Toy Story.
Yeah, I mean, I can't argue with that. But I think they weren't well received because they tried to be new and different, and I respect that.
Oh yeah, no, I'm right there with you because I think a lot of people complain, like you said, it's like, oh, they want something different, and then when they get something different, they complain that it's different. You know what I mean? It's like you can't
Yeah.
have your cake and eat it too. So I agree with you 100%.
Now, this one's a crazy matchup. Toy Story 5 or Super Mario Brothers 2.
I'm gonna go with Super Mario Brothers too.
I'm gonna have to agree. Super Mario Brothers 2. They're a new IP. They introduced Yoshi. I thought Chris Pratt actually wasn't trying to be Chris Pratt in the movie, so that's nice.
Hmm.
Uh, uh, Jack Black is just should have gotten an award for that voice acting.
It was great.
With the Peaches song.
And of course, my girl Peaches. It's about time. You know what? For all the complaints the media puts on us, I'm gonna say it. It's about time Peaches did a goddamn thing because in her game she doesn't do shit, and I actually appreciated that change because really think about the games. All you're doing there is constantly
Saving Peach.
saving her.
Yeah.
Yeah, like so, like good for them. They brought out the Smash Bro Peach. So I would
Yeah,
But
say
it's
Peach
not
Super
wasn't
Mario
Mario's
Brothers.
shit.
movie.
Yeah, Peach wasn't shit in those games, so yeah, they definitely upgraded her.
Oh yeah, yeah. Well, there's several levels.
And, and that Mario movie was a pleasant surprise. Like it was really good, right? You go and look at all the history of video game movies, and it's usually a hit and miss.
For sure.
But
So.
that Mario movie was really good. I was impressed.
It just didn't suck. I think it was good because it didn't suck. Like it kind of, it wasn't bad. So, and considering, super not superheroes, but video game movies are typically kind of underwhelming, it met that mark. But I still feel like the movie could have had more impact. I think they played it very, very safe. They didn't really take a lot of risks. They told a very basic story, as basic as you can possibly tell. So I'm hoping part two can be more dynamic, more compelling. But it was a strong movie. I'm not trying to knock it, but it got a little more credit than I think it deserved, in my opinion.
And to be
Bro,
fair,
have you
Mario
played the
is
Mario game?
it's a
He
basic
ain't
story
trying
for
to do
real.
anything complex.
Yeah. Yeah.
The
Not
story is
complex in
basic.
that. I'm just saying the story couldn't have been flatter. It was a platform story. It's a platform game. It was a platform story, and I
I
just felt
think
like
I think I
I,
think
That's
number
it.
two has a chance to be better than the first one from a
I agree.
storytelling perspective.
Yeah, I agree.
I can see that.
And Black Guru, I'm gonna say I actually agree with that statement. I think the first movie had to play it safe. To be quite honest, go see
Mhm.
Borderlands and check out my review.
Oh,
That
that trash.
Oh,
Oh,
that's a flashback to when they were making terrible video game movies. And people stop blaming Eli Roth. He didn't shoot the whole film. He left to shoot Thanksgiving. So I hate this hate Eli Roth is getting. He's not attached to that movie. He actually couldn't get his name off, and he left the project to go do another movie because he knew it was going to suck. But that is the point. I'm sorry. It's comments I got. But anyways, my point being is that I agree. This story now, I think, and okay, I want to get everybody's opinion on here. Do you think that they are setting up for a Smash Bros. Movie? How
Most
that's what we
definitely.
awesome
said.
Most
Yeah,
definitely.
would
that's what we
yeah,
they
said. That
they
would
do?
be
already they already
crazy.
had that on their roll call thing. When you see all the
Yeah,
different, they already had Super Smash Brothers there. That's happening.
I
Mhm.
that's what I'm
That
saying.
would be
So
fire.
I think this was a great setup
Hmm.
to get us into, dude, Black Guru. That's what I'm talking about. A Smash Bros. Movie. How insane
That'd be so crazy.
would that be? Oh,
The Pikachu, man.
Yeah,
Yeah.
got to get Pikachu in there, Star Fox,
ah,
Android. Just get
yes.
everybody in there. That'd
You
be
looking
so
Zelda.
at
crazy.
Gotta get
yep,
Snake.
yep. You looking at 2 billion easy if that Smash Brothers movie hit
Hmm.
right.
That'll
two
be
Yeah.
two
billion
billion
Mega
off the
Mega
top.
Man. You know what I'm saying?
And
Yep.
Mhm.
everybody don't need their own individual movie. You can introduce some of these characters in other movies too. So you don't need a individual Star Fox, individual Mega Man, individual Metroid. You don't got to do that. You can introduce some of these people in the same movie. I think
But
Star
we,
Fox needs a movie, but you can introduce Metroid in a Star Fox movie
but
as an
those were
example.
the two that were getting movies was Metroid Prime and Star Fox.
I
Sure,
think
sure, sure. I'm just saying, don't you don't need 30 different movies for 30
The
different characters. That's
Hell,
all
the
I'm
hell
the
saying.
Zelda movie, that Sony's working, that's live action, right? That's not gonna be
I
the
think
same.
so. Like, it seems like some of them are animated and some of them are live
Mm.
action. So I don't know how that's gonna work with Super Smash Brothers, but we'll see.
Unless they do like a Ready Player One shit, like, and have it
Yeah,
look
like a
like
Who
that, that'd
Framed
be
Roger
crazy.
Rabbit kind of shit. Yeah, like
Right.
that.
or they do what DC is doing, by the way. If you guys don't know, I'm a huge DC fan. But they do the smart thing, and they have the voices of the live action people do the animated version. Because then you have the live action person voicing the animated character, and you could have some crazy plot line like they just got sucked into this animated world. And I can't
Mm.
remember what movie did that. I think it
That,
was, you said it, Who Framed
sounds
Roger
too
Rabbit and Cool
complicated.
World.
That sounds too complicated for Hollywood, Zod. They might fuck that up, man. I don't know about that.
Damn, you're right about that. I just say it, Hollywood. I will give you ideas.
I think we all should give Hollywood some ideas because they need it right
Facts, brother. Yep.
Absolutely.
All right, so I'll ask you, you and Zod and Anzo, like, because I asked everybody else this. What do you think is gonna be the better superhero movie next July, next summer? Superman or Fantastic Four, Anzo?
Okay, you want to
now.
go
Oh,
first,
guys,
or should I?
really asking this question?
Yeah,
You know
because
what?
because also keep in mind, both like, I feel like has a lot riding on both films in some
I agree,
aspects too. So.
but I'm gonna go with Fantastic Four just because we're gonna get a comic book accurate Galactus. And when they show that little clip of him looking in type of the building, and
Mm.
I was like, okay, that looks fire. So I'm gonna go with Fantastic Four.
All right, Zod.
Of course, me being General Zod of the fandom zone, you guys already know what movie I'm going with. There's only one mistake in this movie. There's no Zod. That's all right, James Gunn. I can forgive you for that. You're probably saving him for a sequel. But the fact that we have the most accurate looking Lex Luthor, think baby Jesus, that we got a competent actor doing Lex Luthor and not the Social Network dude, because I am so looking forward.
I
The
thought he was
bald
brilliant.
head. I thought it was a mess, and I wanted to
I'm
punch
just
Jesse
joking.
Eisenberg in the
I'm just
face.
joking. Yeah, I don't like Jesse Eisenberg. I was fucking with you.
Oh, thank God! Thank God! That's a touchy subject
Senator,
for me.
Senator,
Oh
giving
God!
the senator.
I got
What
like
was that? What was that jar? What did the mason jar say?
it was
Granny's
And he's
peach
peach
tea.
tea.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah,
yeah,
that's good.
Granny's peach tea.
Nasty ass motherfuckers.
I don't know how he looked at him and said, "Yeah, you're Lex. That's it. That's the Lex
But
you
Nah.
want."
technically, it's Lex Junior. It's not like Lex Senior. So
Look. The Nicholas Hoult is a great actor and was the perfect. Like when I saw him with the bald head, I said, "James, you son of a bitch, you've done it again." And look, let's not forget, people, what Fantastic Four doesn't have. It doesn't have James Gunn, and if my memory serves correctly, the man can't miss these last couple of years. He made the best last Marvel movie in Guardians 3. He did the best version of Suicide Squad. Granted, we only got one, and that was a shit show. He understands what fans want, and he understands how to make good characters and stories. What sold me was the comment he made where he said he's not going to put anything in production without a good script, which means he understands the most important thing. You nail down your story, then you cast, and then you make your movie. And I think he is going to come out and shock people who are sitting there doubting. I think he understands Superman. He has respect for Superman. He's taken it back to a brighter tone, which is what Superman is. And I think he's going to knock it out of the park. And I can't wait. I can't wait to prove people wrong, because Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman, those are the three heavy hitters for DC. And I think he's going to bring them all back.
So
I really do.
I'll give you that he does do characters very well, but then we also got Guardians of the Galaxy 2, and I didn't like that one. I thought that was one of the weakest ones. But I agree with you. His Suicide Squad is better than the first one, and Guardians 2 and 3 are pretty much really good. So
Who's directing Fantastic Four? I forget.
I don't
Oh
know.
shit, who is directing that? Yeah, I forgot.
Is it somebody known or just unknown?
Being this Marvel, probably somebody unknown that they can control easily.
Right.
True.
No,
Exactly.
if I remember correctly, they actually got a pretty competent actor for or director for the Fantastic Four movie, and I am not counting out Marvel this year because of the fact that when they made that announcement about Daredevil, did you all see that announcement? I
Yeah, and Daredevil looks
lost,
fire.
dude.
Mhm.
I
I was
lost
like,
my.
that's where all the budget went from all the other TV shows.
Did you no?
They put in Daredevil.
But did you see that they're gonna use Muse, that fucking crazy ass serial killer that uses the
Yes,
blood of his victims to paint shit? Man,
Yeah.
Yeah.
yes, bro. I have never been more excited for a Marvel
Got
thing, and then,
Bullseye coming back.
dude,
man, he
when Kevin said we're forgetting a character, and then they played the Punisher's music, and they're using the directors and writers from Netflix, The Punishers, which is one of my favorite Netflix shows of all time. Uh, dude,
Okay, match. He did one. Okay, yeah, he did WandaVision. Okay.
Yeah, I just looked him up. He did a lot of TV stuff, and I guess the movie's gonna have like a sitcom kind of feel. So maybe that's why they hired him. So I'm looking at his filmography here. And he did mostly TV movies and sitcoms and shows.
Appreciate that, Sam.
hey, but I'm telling you right now, humans are not ready for Muse. They have no idea what they're about to get hit with. They have no idea.
If Disney
Yeah,
if Disney
I
will
can't.
go there,
As long as they do it right, though. You know
yeah.
what I mean?
Oh yeah,
they
yeah.
said they are. They said it's
But
hard R. It's a
Yeah, it's
R-rated
hard.
show.
and what did John Bernthal say? He said, "I'm not coming back unless they do the characters the way they're supposed to be done. He ain't trying to have no
Yep.
watered down shit."
Yeah, that's just gonna be dope. I'm like, yeah, they need to put that trailer out like so
Yeah.
I can see it's all in its HD. Because like I was like, that's a clean ass looking trailer. I was like, this look better than everything that Disney that put out on Disney Plus in like years and shit.
Perp, check this out, right? Like Muse, he also has this power to where he can sense everything around him and stop you from sensing him, which means that Daredevil is about to get his ass whooped. Like it's gonna be amazing. I'm telling you.
I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah,
And
I
I
ain't
think
looking
he's getting
forward
a
to
new
seeing
suit,
Daredevil
but
get his ass whooped.
Bro,
you gotta
Daredevil
have a
got his
hallway.
ass whooped several times.
You
Yeah,
gotta have a
yeah, yeah.
hallway scene.
Oh yeah, you
Word.
got a hallway scene with Muse and Daredevil, and then you drop a little Punisher. And, oh man, top
And
tier, top
Bullseye.
tier.
Well, hopefully
And
they don't
Bullseye,
make Kingpin a caricature of himself like they did in that Hawkeye show. That was embarrassing. I hated what they
right.
did.
No. He gonna have to step it up because Muse is there, so he ain't gonna be the only one. Like he has to be
Yeah,
dope as hell. He really does.
because I ain't like the fact he got whooped by Lady Hawkeye. Man, that rubbed me all kinds of
Trash.
wrong.
Right. After I didn't seen this man in the comics grab Daredevil and Spider-Man by their necks like they were
Right.
children and toss them against a wall, I'm like, nah, you better not play them like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting. Yeah, anybody watch the Thunderbolts trailer? I don't know why. Like, I don't want to watch a trailer like that. Honestly, like without
Nah,
the
me
like
neither.
looking.
No.
Yeah, I
Give me an
watched it.
HD
It
version.
looked all right. It looked all right.
Well, I wish they
Yeah.
wouldn't have revealed the Red Hulk so early, though, man. But then again, it was spoiled for me a long time ago. Like back in February, McDonald's, I was picking up an Uber order, and they already had the whole lineup of toys in the McDonald's in the display case. And I said,
What
"Well,
the fuck?
goddamn, yeah, I swear to God, they spoiled the whole movie like a year in advance at McDonald's. I already saw Red
That's
Hulk.
Wow,
crazy.
that's
Yeah,
insane.
yeah,
But I
but
mean,
because I'm a man of integrity, I didn't spoil it for you all. I didn't take a picture of it and then put it on the internet. Hey guys, guess what? Red Hulk's gonna be in the new Captain America movie. Aren't you glad I spoiled it?
Okay, can I just ask everybody, because I gotta get your guys' thoughts here. Look, I was not looking forward to a Falcon Captain America movie, but I'm just gonna say it. I can't believe I'm saying this as a diehard DC fan, but that shit looks fire from that trailer. I'm not gonna lie. When they were playing the
Yeah,
music,
it's intriguing.
the
It's intriguing.
Yeah, it was a
It's
strong
giving,
back and
trailer.
forth.
yeah, it's giving Winter Soldier vibes, man. And look,
Yes, that's
if
the
they,
You know
first
what?
thing
You
I
know what?
thought.
You know what draws me to is the fact that like Harrison Ford is playing the villain. It's just how he's talking to say it.
I've been waiting
right,
for that for years.
and on top of that, if they give him the same glow up as they gave Miles Morales in his animated films, it'll be better than his fucking comic books all day, every day. If they execute that shit right. So I'm actually excited about Sam Wilson as Cap, and I
My
wasn't at
problem,
first, but I am now.
my
Boy, question
problem with
in the
it.
comics, did he ever take the serum? Because if you're gonna fight Red
No,
Hulk, you gotta
no,
take
no.
the
See,
serum.
that shot is out of context because, like I've been telling humans, if you read the whole comic books from 2008, Red Hulk, when he fought Thor, Thor was getting his ass beat by Red Hulk. So there's no way that Sam Wilson is soloing Red Hulk. I think in that scene there are a couple of characters that are going to help him fight Red Hulk. Probably, maybe the Green Hulk, maybe She Hulk, maybe somebody
You
else.
think
Well,
you think there's gonna be like a secret character like they're actually gonna show like somebody like Sentry off in this and it continues into Thunderbolts because I feel like those two movies are going to be somewhat connected.
Considering that Sentry has beat Hulk, the green one, like that would be Red
Wait a
Hulk would be
minute,
cool.
Sentry didn't beat Green Hulk. They
Yes, he
fought.
did.
They fought to a draw.
No.
No, he beat him. Come
No,
on.
He
This is what I'm talking about.
eviscerated him.
Hulk hype ride that everybody goes on. Hulk can be beat. He's still a mortal man.
I ain't saying he
Stop
couldn't be
gassing him
beat.
up.
I
He
ain't saying he couldn't be. I ain't saying he can't be
literally,
beat. I'm just saying they fought to a standstill.
he literally disintegrated him more than 1,000 times, and he didn't return. In that
Did he?
particular battle, that ain't no draw. If they have Sentry there against Red Hulk, then I guess we only gonna have him for one movie. That's all I'm saying.
I haven't read the comics, but I've never seen Hawk defeated in a fight. I mean, he may have been
Okay,
defeated in the
he
comics
lost
that
to
I don't
Thanos.
really
He
read
lost
them
to
like
Thanos
that, but on
before.
television and movies,
Yeah.
I've never seen Hawk lose.
Did you know that Batman defeated Hulk? Did you know that?
Fuck out of here.
Yes.
Well, except Thanos. Excuse me, except
Okay,
Thanos.
but
I feel like
here,
that was bullshit, but whatever.
here's the thing though. Like
I agree with you.
But Batman did not physically beat him. What he did is he doused him with some gas. He got him to inhale the gas, which knocked him out. Remember, Batman is a master tactician. He doesn't
But here's
have
the,
to physically beat you.
but
That's
here's
not
the
beating
thing.
the Hawk to me, though.
No, but here's the
That's
thing.
turning the
That
Hawk
is.
back into Banner.
Well,
Yeah,
the
well,
Sentry.
Hulk can still get his ass beat.
No, but here's the
Well,
thing,
the Sentry fight I'm talking about was during World War Hulk. So maybe Terrence, that's another issue. That's
Yes,
another story
yes,
you're talking about. But when
right,
I read
yes.
World War Hulk, they fought to a standstill where they
Oh,
both just
absolutely.
fought till they was exhausted, and
Right.
Hulk reverted back to Banner, and Sentry reverted back to his normal self.
Right. I'm not
Yeah.
saying that didn't happen. All I'm saying is that the Hulk has been defeated before and Sentry has beat him before. But you're
Okay.
talking about if they were to fight 10 times, Hulk would win 7 times out of the 10 times, if not 8. So it's not like Hulk is not going to win, but I'm just letting you know when you read enough Marvel comics, you see that the Hulk has been defeated. But he's also bodied a bunch of characters too.
Yeah,
But
he's taking some L's. He's taking some L's.
yeah. But it all depends
So
on
you
the
would
comics,
count
right?
him
could
being
be.
gassed and turned into Banner as a defeat?
Yeah,
But
100%.
because okay, so Batman, look, when Batman was fighting him, Batman was like, damn, this motherfucker's strong. Like, he's stronger than Bane. It's like, yes, Bruce, he is. So he just found a way to knock him out because he knew that he couldn't physically beat him. So from a writing standpoint, I was like, that's how he would win. He wouldn't just fight him. Even if he has some tech, that's not good
Yeah, just
enough. He would have to
incapacitate him.
find a way. Right. That's what he did. So I'm like, that's what Batman would do. And that makes sense. Because I was like, you're not going to convince me that he can go toe to toe with him because he can't even go toe to toe with Superman. But what he can do
But
is
that's what
go
I'm saying.
beyond that.
When I look at defeat, I'm looking at who can beat him toe to toe.
Toe-to-toe
That's
in
what
the
I'm
fight.
saying. Not no trickery,
Very,
not no
few.
extra stuff. I'm talking about who can toe to toe whoop the Hawk's ass.
Okay, so in the context of what may be happening in Brave New World, Red Hulk has got his ass beat by Green Hulk. So at first, like Red Hulk did fuck him up a bit in the 2008 arc, But then Green Hulk was like, now that I know how he fights, I'm gonna beat him. And he literally punched him and knocked his ass out. He was like, there's only one Hulk, there's a green one. And he told A-Bomb as well as Namor the Submariner, the difference between Red Hulk and Green Hulk is that when Green Hulk gets mad, he gets stronger. When Red Hulk gets mad, he gets hotter. So because he doesn't get stronger, I'm about to whoop his ass. And then Green Hulk fucked him up. But mind you, Green Hulk is very strong. So is Thor. So no one can convince me that Sam is going to solo Red Hulk. That's all I'm trying to tell you.
Yeah.
Okay,
No, yeah, definitely.
I think this is a perfect movie, though. It's a perfect movie to give Hulk his status back, give his aura back. You know what I'm
He
saying?
needs
He needs to fight.
Hold on. But here's my problem: is I have a feeling they're gonna make Red Hulk better than Green Hulk, and if they do that, I'm going to be so pissed because we all know that the Hulk in the MCU is trash, 100% trash.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Anzo,
Yeah, I
we were
remember you
just
saying
talking
that.
about that, right? I believe they're going to make Red Hulk Beast too. And while that's cool, I'm going to be like you, irritated because Green Hulk has been defeated by everyone and their grandmother. It's like everybody could beat up Hulk. It makes no sense. And then he reverted to a dude wearing sweaters and taking selfies and shit. I'm like, that's not the Hulk.
It makes me cry, and I'm the biggest Hulk fan. I got his fucking tattoo on my arm, man. They did my boy dirty.
Yo, Hulk, to me, Hulk has always been cool. He's always been awesome. But the way that the MCU has treated him, I feel like after Edward Norton left, it's just he got worse and worse and worse and worse and worse.
Bro, Edward Norton left because he saw the scripts. He was like, man, I'm out.
Like I said, he got worse and worse. Like I was fine with him in Avengers 1, but the Incredible Hulk, when he fought Abomination, that Hulk was fire. That was the one you don't want to mess with. That
shit was fire, yeah.
That was the best looking Hulk too. And I hated the fact that in Avengers, Hulk ran around and he moved like he was an ape or a gorilla. I didn't
right. Yeah, like primate. He's like a primate almost. Yeah.
Right. It's like he digressed. It was like he went from being humanoid to like I'm just a huge green gorilla. It was kind of weird.
Who do you think is stronger, Ang Lee's Hulk or Incredible Hulk?
No, Incredible Hulk. Incredible Hulk.
No, Ang Lee Hulk is stronger, but the movie was trash and the effects were trash. But Ang Lee's Hulk captured Hulk's like real powers, like in the comics. Yeah.
But here's a problem though. In Ang Lee's Hulk, he had tanks. In Incredible Hulk, he fought the Abomination. Yeah, so I need an actual opponent, not just vehicles.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Well, he fought I guess a variant of an Absorbing Man.
Yeah. Remember when the Hulk fought thing on the animated show in the 90s?
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, like his whole dad being Absorbing Man. We don't count that. That wasn't Absorbing Man. You want to see Absorbing Man? You watch Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Yeah, I've seen that.
People sleep on Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. That show is fire, bro.
Me and Pop Culture PB, and not to plug my channel, but if you check out my channel, we actually have a retrospective on the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Greatest show, best fucking ending I've seen in a while for a series final, and so slept on, it's ridiculous. You want to see Marvel done right? Watch even the first 2 seasons when they said, "Oh, it's kind of connected, but not." There's a special cameo. I'm not gonna spoil it, but and Ghost Rider, dude. Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. was the only one to do.
Ghost Rider is amazing.
Robbie Reyes' Ghost Rider is amazing.
And you know what I think?
I don't like Robbie Reyes' Ghost Rider. I hate that comic run, but in the show.
In the show he's amazing. And let's not forget they did the Inhumans better too in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. season 2. Let's not forget that.
Oh my God, everything.
Speaking of Ghost Rider, you saw your boys on in the concept art.
Yes, my boy. Okay, if you guys don't know, I am a diehard. I would take a bullet for Nick Cage. There's no bullshit. I am the biggest Nick Cage fan. I got my stand-up that I'm looking at majestically right now. That's Nick Cage looking off to the side.
Too much.
So I just want to say, look. I love Nick Cage's Ghost Rider. I understand it's silly, but everybody here's got to admit, if you're going to cast someone as Johnny Blaze, Nick Cage does fit that profile, okay?
Honestly, he would have been perfect.
I'll say this.
He would have fit in. He would have fit in perfect with Deadpool and Wolverine because like I
Oh,
would have just liked to
absolutely.
see him and Gambit interact, bro. That should have been
Oh my
hilarious.
god, that would have been fucking amazing. So look, that
He was
scene
supposed to be
where
there.
he was. Right? They
Mhm.
couldn't get him. But that
Yeah.
scene in the first Ghost Rider movie where he did his transformation, I don't think anybody could have did that. They could have did that better than Nick Cage. I'm just throwing that out there.
Yeah, that shit was
bro,
fire.
bro, people hate the second movie, Spirit Avenger. I love it. When can you see a movie with Ghost Rider taking a flaming piss? You won't see it. You had it. It was the greatest movie ever, and y'all didn't fucking go and see it.
Look, I have to admit, even though I like Nick Cage's Ghost Rider, that second movie was horseshit mixed with piss.
Yeah.
But
Right.
it did have some cool scenes in it. But I will take the first movie over that one all day. I'm just saying.
Oh no. I agree, but I'm just saying, like, there's elements good, and I think the shame is with how Marvel turned the way that it did. Nick Cage Ghost Rider would have been perfect, man. He would have fit the tone and the vibe they were originally going for. That kind of goofy but scary kind of thing. Dude, he would have been a fucking lock for
He
Ghost
was
Rider.
supposed to was he also supposed to pop up in Kang Dynasty when like I don't know how true those notes were or whatever. They said like he was supposed to be like Hugh Jackman.
Yeah,
You said what?
I don't know about that. I know he was supposed to be in Deadpool and Wolverine, but something like
Yeah.
Ryan Reynolds couldn't get him. But
Mhm.
it's not too late. Remember, Secret Wars is coming. You could put everybody up in
Yeah.
there.
Oh yeah.
That's what I'm saying. We're gonna get we should get all the Hulks, Wolf Ferrigno, all them, like, you know what I'm saying? Get all the Hulks together, get everybody.
Wait, Lou
What
Ferrigno.
about
Lou
Gray? Like,
Ferrigno's gonna beat up the MCU Hulk. That's what's gonna happen. I'm telling you.
That'd be
Ah,
crazy.
bro.
do you think we're ever gonna get the Gray Hulk? Because when I saw when they had Wolverine as Patch, I was like, yo, we have to get Mr. Fix-It, man. Yo, a Wolverine, a Patch and Mr. Fix-It movie would be fire. That would be
Yeah,
dope.
Thomas Jane's Punisher was dope.
Yeah,
Ray
he was the
Ray
one they
Stevens-
referenced. Yeah, so
Ray Stevens was good as the Punisher. Like, I think he fit. The issue was he had the shittiest script ever conceived by man.
That movie was
well,
dog.
but I mean, technically, he was the most comic book accurate Punisher.
Oh yeah,
He
definitely in the worst movie ever made.
He was.
Well,
Yeah.
I mean, you can say what you want about that movie, but it matches the Punisher comic books. I'm just telling you that now.
Yeah, no, I think he was definitely the best Punisher. But yeah, that movie was oof. I think Dolph Lundgren's Punisher was better than that one.
Dolph Lundgren's Punisher was like, that 80s action movie, but I wouldn't call it the Punisher because he didn't even have the skull. He was just shooting people. But yeah.
Right.
Yeah, I forgot about that Hulk got a son and shit. He probably lame as fuck too.
Ugh, Scar? Yeah, that's not Scar. That's a crime that they did Scar.
I don't know what that was, man.
It's
Scratch, get rid of Scar, bring in Mr. Fix-It. Yo,
But that's how we get Hulk back to being Hulk. You know what I'm saying? Kill his son off and probably kill. Well, he probably wouldn't care about She-Hulk like too much, even though that's his cousin and shit. But.
Yeah.
You see, Hulk had a storyline which I wish they would have did. It was when in the comics they actually separated Bruce Banner from the Hulk.
Yeah.
That's what they should have done with the Hulk. If they would have done that,
God,
it would have been epic.
That Anzo, man, if they would do that, all them MCU characters would be dead. The way that they present them, like how watered down they are. Like Hulk without Bruce Banner, the MCU would be over. It'd be like Beyonder Who? No, the Hulk killed everybody. That's who snapped.
Done. Yeah.
Yeah, you got Thor out here giving up his throne, and man, all them characters would have been murked. They'd have been done.
Facts. But for whatever reason, they felt like disrespecting the Hulk, and I don't understand why.
That's why I don't fuck with the Russos, man. I mean, I respect the Russos. They gave us Infinity War and Endgame, but fuck them dudes, man. Because they
because fuck the. I'm sorry, fuck the Hulk. He's the most uninteresting character.
Hey, stop
I
that.
don't
Hey, can we get
understand.
rid of that? Can we get rid of
I
that?
don't understand. I'm sorry. Try to help me understand what makes him compelling.
Zod,
He's
I'm
big.
not. I'm
He
not gonna let you do
smashes
it.
things.
I'm not gonna let you do it. I'm not
He's
gonna let you
yeah,
do it.
that's
You
the
know what?
company.
Me
He's
neither.
big. He
Me
smashes
neither.
things.
We go through this every damn stream, and you do it to get my pressure up. You're not gonna do it.
Yeah, there'll
Right?
be no Hulk slander on this stream, and it ain't even my stream. But no, we ain't doing that.
Yep. Hey, Hulk is cool, and we'll leave it at that. You
No
know,
Hulk slander allowed. All right.
Right, 100%.
I-
But I'll say this: I think the real destruction of Hulk was in Ragnarok.
Yes.
That's when they absolutely destroyed the Hulk. They had him acting like a 10-year-old little
So
kid.
that's why I got his ass whooped.
Baby Hulks,
You
baby
should
I
tighten
Hulks.
up.
disagree with
You
that.
you
should
know what,
tighten
I
up.
Anzu?
disagree
I
with
feel
that.
like I would take that one all day over the selfie taking Hulk though, because that one, at least the one in Ragnarok, he fought a wolf. Like the selfie one, it's like he has a hard time starting a microwave. I don't know about that one.
Can I be heard? Y'all can hear me?
Yeah, okay.
Okay. No, yeah, I disagree with that. I think the worst Hawk is the fact that he didn't is the Infinity War Hawk because he got his ass whooped by Thanos, but he never got his revenge on Thanos.
Never got
He
You
never
get his
got his
lick back.
round 2 on that.
So I agree with that too. I wish he would have got his revenge, but there's no way that Thor should have been beating the Hulk in Ragnarok. I'm sorry, no
Hell no! Oh no! Oh no!
I'm sorry. I disagree. Is Hulk a demigod? Because Thor is.
don't
So
matter.
he's
Okay,
a
Zod,
literal god
That
Zod.
don't
Okay,
matter.
Hey,
of a
That
throne.
don't matter.
In
If you're
Marvel
trying to tell
Comics,
me Hulk, a man who played with some
Hold on.
radiation, is
Let's
stronger
check.
than a god who
In
controls
Marvel Comics,
lightning?
Let's cook.
in Marvel Comics, Hulk has beat the piss out of Thor many times.
Yes.
thank you,
More
Terrence.
They
Terrence,
got, they got to nerf him
hey,
because he's a literal god. Thor
listen,
is
no.
the literal god of thunder.
So, but hold on. Just go back and watch Thor versus Hulk when Loki took over Hulk and pretty much killed Thor in that cartoon, bro. Like Thor does not beat Hulk, and they should not have had him beat him in that movie. No,
hey,
fuck
y'all,
that
I
movie.
got to take this phone call. This my brother called me. I got to take this phone call. But Terrence, get Zod from me, man, because the Hulk slander is ridiculous. Hey, y'all, I gotta head out. Hey, Purp, happy birthday, fam! But I gotta sign out.
Yeah, no problem, no problem. I'm
All
I'm
Bye,
right,
about to
Rashad.
wrap it up soon, so anyways.
See you, Rashad. Take care,
all
man.
right.
Fuck that movie.
Yeah, no, hey, Anzu, I feel you, man. Look, I feel like it's with Hulk, it's like one of those things where it's like, man, which one do we choose? Like some are better than others, but it's like to me, the only time that I was okay with him getting beat up is when he fought Thanos, but nobody else should have been able to do that. Because imagine if Hulk was winning every single fight
And
and
then he
then he
lost
got
to
beat by
Thanos.
Thanos.
Yeah.
Right. Then it
Yes.
would have been like, oh my God, he lost for the
Yeah.
first time.
Yes.
Just saying.
Okay,
I agree.
let me just say this. If I had to pick a Hulk, not being a Hulk fan whatsoever, Cap forever, but if I had to pick a Hulk, I would say the Hulk that I would want would be the one who kicked the shit out of Tim Roth in that in that movie. Bro, that's the Hulk that should have been. I think we can all agree on that. Bro
Also,
didn't
don't
say
forget that
nothing.
the MCU Hulk lost to the Hulkbuster and shit. Like,
Yeah,
that
yeah,
shit's
yeah, yeah.
crazy.
Garbage. Yeah,
Oh my
Bro,
garbage.
that
God.
that
And
Hulk who
he
fought
knocked him out. He knocked
Abomination.
him out with like a little pussy punch. Like it was weird. Like
And had him spitting out his fucking teeth. Like, what is that crap? No, man, no.
They
Oh,
doing
I'm
them
just
dirty.
saying, Edward Norton's Hulk. That's why Edward Norton read the script that the Russos had. He was like, "Nah, guys,
hey,
I just kicked someone in the chest. So you can't have
yo,
me do this now."
when Edward Norton's Hulk, when he choked out Abomination with that chain, like I was like, man, that's some scary shit right there.
Bro,
Like Betty was like,
best Hulk movie ever made. I was just
and
gonna say that.
that's the
Hands
design of the Hulk they should have kept. They should have
Yeah,
kept that design for the Hulk.
too scary.
Muscle. Yeah, it was very scary. You see all the muscle striations. I was like, if that one shows up, it's time to leave. You don't fight that one, it's time to leave. The rest of them, you kind of see them and you're like, maybe we could win, maybe. So that's a problem. You shouldn't be thinking like that when the Hulk shows up.
Dude, just picture this. I want everybody to picture this. Picture this. If Edward Norton Hulk shows up in that Avengers lineup, I tell you what happens. The alternate scene. The Chidari just fucking book it. They say, "Whoa, what the hell is that thing?" And they take off.
Happy
Right,
B-Day.
Loki was like, "Where y'all going?" And then it just Hulk is just right there behind him, and he just bye Loki.
Hold on. Why the hell did we bring this guy on, please? Like, what is he doing here? Oh my lord, you just ruined your whole stream.
No,
We're having a good time, and now Nerdman is here.
This must be a special day, Purp, because I swear I just heard Onzo before I came on the stream say something sensible. Like say something like that made any kind of sense at all. Yeah, there's this criticism of the Hulk in the Thor. The Thor is the worst Hulk. Thor Ragnarok is the worst Hulk.
Yes. 100. I agree.
Endgame is just the
results of it.
Icing on the cake. It was already done by then.
Yeah, I agree. I'm agreeing with Nerdman. That's not cool. No, I'm not.
So does Hulk get his redemption in this new Captain America movie, or do they wait till the Avengers movies?
There is no redemption from what he's done. That's like saying, does Ted Bundy get his redemption? You can't get redemption when you've gone that far, bro. They've gone too far with him. It's terrible.
So, to be fair, right, we seen at the end of can't remember which movie it was, but Bruce Banner turned back. Well, Hulk turned back into Bruce Banner. So the fact that he can still change back and forth, which I don't know why they did that, because Professor Hulk is Hulk always. He can't change back, but okay, whatever. So that shows me that maybe they can do something with him trying to separate himself from the Hulk, and they can do something with that at least, and at least try and give us a Hulk that we're supposed to have.
I can see that, like, separate the two, give us the old 08 Hulk back, and it just looks, and they just changed, make it Edward Norton, but not actually Edward Norton, but that version of Hulk.
Because I don't want to see anything with that kid. I don't want to see that. Look trash. I don't want to see that again.
What, Hulk's kid?
Yeah, Hulk's son. I don't want to see that. Nope.
He's probably gonna get killed. Eventually.
I hope so.
I can see that being because they keep talking about World War Hulk, which there'll probably be a diet version of that story.
Yeah.
For sure.
Well, they got the rights back, or at least I think they're about to get the rights back, so they can do that. So that would be interesting if they do. But again, if they do a World War Hulk, they got to do that right, because again, the way they've been messing up the Hulk, you have to have some kind of redeeming quality. So if you do that, you got to get it.
Does MCU have a power scaling issue?
Ben had They Ben had a power scaling issue.
Yeah. Because in some movies they're more powerful than they are in other movies, and it's like, wait, you know what I mean? Like you were stronger in this movie. Now they weaken you up to meet the narrative of the movie.
I think another point that could be made is that the Infinity Gauntlet kind of helped balance the power scaling, because the concept was really nothing was more powerful than a fully realized gauntlet. So that was the apex of power in the universe. But once that Infinity Gauntlet was destroyed and we start getting multiverses and witchcraft and time travel, now it's like the power scaling is just completely out the window. Like we don't know who's stronger than who or what's stronger than what.
Mm-hmm.
We get somewhat of a sense, but like we know Wanda is like super powerful. She's Omega.
Well, Wanda, but here's the thing, though. If you look at what happened with Thanos, there's only a couple characters that fought him. Look how much Doctor Strange fought Thanos, and look at what Thor did to Thanos when he had a fully assembled gauntlet. Wanda wasn't doing shit to Thanos.
Every one of the main Avengers did better against Thanos than Hulk.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
No, Iron Man did the best, bro. Like that shit was bullshit.
Iron Man took a whole planet. That's more than Scarlet Witch too. I'm like, so she shouldn't even be in the conversation. What fight did she?
Facts.
Hey man, Iron Man so OP. I was like, bro.
If you think about it, like you know how film, like with these things, you usually get the least powerful first takes on the person, and then it gets subsequently more and more powerful, like the characters they take on. I think that's what they were saying with Thanos. They're saying Hulk is the bitch of the Avengers because he was the one that he takes on first. And then you get like Scarlet Witch essentially was the last one to take him on, right? In the Infinity War. Was she the last one before he snapped?
Well, what
Before he
happened
snapped,
was
yeah,
all she did
Infinity
was
War.
lift him in the air, and then he defeated her with a missile. There was no fight; it was just a missile.
Bro, okay, stop the Scarlet Witch hate here. Okay, I'm gonna have
Nah,
to
Thor was the last
defend
one to take him
the
on. You should have
magic
went for the
users
head.
here.
Whoa! How is that hate when she literally was defeated with a missile?
She
She didn't
was
have a
literally
fight.
crushing him in his own armor. She was
Okay,
crushing the
first of
armor
all,
into him,
you
which he couldn't get
understand that there
off.
was no, but there was no fight though. The other characters that we mentioned, they had a long drawn out fight scene with Thanos.
Bro,
Yeah,
That's
but
I
all
would
we
they
say
didn't go over
okay.
top.
My favorite character in DC is John Constantine. I would honestly say he's the strongest in the universe, and why? Because of magic. Magic has that
well,
X factor that
God,
affects
actually,
everything across all comics.
Zatanna is 100 times more powerful than John Constantine. Even Dr. Fate said that
You're
Zatanna,
crazy.
that
He stole all of the items of.
even Dr. Fate said that Zatanna at her ultimate potential will kill us all. That's a literal quote.
Bro, yeah, but Zatanna
Even John Constantine is scared of
didn't
Zatanna.
defeat
Wait a
John
second.
Constantine did defeat the devil.
Yeah. Uh, um, T virus is right, bro. You can't like. Come on, man. Constantine is the most powerful over Raven. Over
Right.
let
Oh,
alone
he could beat Raven. Are you kidding me? Raven can't
Have
even
you
control her own
have you heard
emotions.
of God? Have you heard of White Raven? Like what her power
Yes,
is when
and
she's
I
uncovered
say
by
you
her
could still
father?
beat White
Is she
Raven
over?
too.
She OP.
She is OP, God. Like, look, John
Dude,
Constantine is very powerful, but compared to Zatanna, compared to Raven, he will get his ass stomped.
he won't, and I'll tell you the one reason why. Because he does the one thing all the pansy superheroes won't do. He does the opposite of the right thing. He's a con artist, he's a swindler, and he doesn't fight fair. So yes, maybe in a fair
Um,
fight, they would beat him. But against
no.
him playing dirty using magic, they have no chance.
Constantine himself is afraid of Zatanna.
Oh yes, I know that, but he's dating
your
her, so
family
that's not
saying
even an
failure.
issue.
Your
I'm saying
family,
the people he would actually fight, and
your
he even
family
beat
saying failure.
Superman.
Look, dude. Let me just say 2 words to you, Doctor Fate.
Dude, he took Doctor Fate's helmet, and he took the robes of the dead. Or it was that one where he had to fight the devil in the deceased
Okay,
story arc.
so
He
if
literally
Doctor
took the most powerful items in the DC universe and fought the demon from hell in a battle and punched the shit out of him and went
Let
toe
me
to
ask you
toe with
this.
him.
Let me ask you
Which
this.
no,
love
Let
Constantine,
me
I
ask a more
love
general
America
question,
too.
real quick. So, is
Oh, go good.
witchcraft more powerful than technology? Because
It,
Kang,
it,
he just, Kang is just technology. Iron Man is just technology. So, does
well,
witchcraft
so
trump technology
it
as far as
depends.
power scaling goes? So,
It depends.
is a technical genius better than a magical user?
Most of the time, no. But in the case of Kang, he's an exception because he literally travels to the far reaches of the timeline to outdo all the characters and return to them in their prospective presence. And he has tech that they have no answers for. So he surprises them and beats them, but not so much that, his tech is better than the magic. But if you don't know what that is, like imagine seeing a device or some type of shield that you've never heard of that won't be invented for like 500 years, and he has that shit and he can reduce you to atoms. If you don't respond fast enough, you'll turn into paste. But in most cases, 8 times out of 10, the magic will beat the tech. But it also depends on which characters and what type of tech you're talking about.
Yeah, because magic predates the technology and tech runs on certain rules, earthly bound rules. Magic don't have any rules. Well, they do, technically. But
Well, yeah, they have
magic
a lot of
users tend to push them or break them. You're talking about summon other worldly spirits and the dead. Name me tech that can beat that. Even like things like Marvel's spin on the zombie. What was it called?
Marvel
Deceased. It
Zombies.
was Marvel Zombies, and then
you
you
talking
have
about DC?
DC Deceased. Uh,
Yeah.
but yeah,
So,
even Tony Stark, with all of his technology, couldn't beat zombies. So I'm just saying, yes, I do believe there's things that magic can overcome because tech doesn't have an answer because it works in the mind of humans, but magic transcends that.
I
So
was only making the point that in a fight, it's also about intelligence. Thanos is a master strategist. He knew that so when he encountered Scarlet Witch in that scene, he was unfamiliar with what power she was using. So he was like, what the hell is this? And then from a tactical standpoint, he's like, shoot a missile at this bitch. And that's what happened. And then she went out of the movie. There was no fight. So I mean, Scarlet Witch was
Pretty
cleaning up her
much.
teeth and stuff. That's what happened, and it was Thor and the rest of them that had to fight.
Thanos blasted her ass off screen. Where the fuck did she go? That bitch get knocked out.
Yeah, we
She
never
got
seen
knocked
her
out of the movie.
again.
Dean Brocken is blasting away again.
He blasted her in the fucking
Blasted Captain Marvel out the movie too. She lost some screen time. I was like, damn.
Yeah, he
Yeah,
punched her.
knocked out.
She was gone. She didn't return until Tony's funeral. That's where she went. I was like, damn, she got killed.
She's probably unconscious until the funeral. And when
she got finished with an Infinity Stone, the Power Stone by Thanos. Which, mind you, when all these other characters were doing their snap, the arm hurt, they die. Thanos is casually snapping with no damage because that's how powerful he is.
Yeah, you see, and that's another thing I didn't like too. You know, Hulk's arm not healing. I was like, yo, what is this, man?
He do got a healing factor, don't he?
He does, but like here's my thing. The type of damage and power that comes from the stones, it makes sense to why he was injured. However, eventually he should have healed, but they had it to where he didn't heal at all. So that was always my side of the discussion was like, no, the damage makes sense. Him permanently having damage doesn't make sense.
Yeah, for sure. 100%.
Another question. Y'all see what's her face popping back up, Gaia? Because it's like they gotta do something with her.
who?
From Secret Invasion.
I'll reiterate the question. Who?
She's the most powerful character. Like she got all the shit. Like that shit's crazy. She got a little baby Drax hand.
Right. Yeah, that was kind of weird. Yeah, we probably not gonna see her anytime soon. Maybe in Secret Wars, and then she'll probably get checked by one of the other characters, and then I'll be.
She needs to die.
Shit, she may not even. I'll be honest with you, because Secret Wars is gonna be so packed. I think what they're more than likely gonna do, because the rumors sound like they're true. The OG 2000s Marvel characters are going to be the ones leading the movie. What I think they said King Dynasty originally was supposed to be that. King Dynasty was supposed to be a movie where the OG early 2000s Marvel heavy hitters, Toby, Hugh, and Blade are like supposed to like be the main cats trying to save the Avengers.
Can we please get a scene where the Beyonder bodies Galactus, like when he puts him on Battle World, and then Galactus is like, "Who the hell are you? I'm Galactus. Ain't nobody taming me." And he tries to fly up and he gets backhanded back down to Battle World. Can we get a scene like that?
That was kind of going around. Like, how would y'all feel about that? Like, you know, after Doomsday and stuff like that, we were in Battle World, and like we have a lot of these movies that take place in Battle World, like Spider-Man 4, or just like certain movies before we get like Secret Wars.
I think it'll be like an anime arc, like I think it'll be like a good little arc, like anime. They kind of a season we're kind of stuck in like this one spot or a saga, right? In itself, all the characters are stuck in this one area. The movie takes place in damn near the same location, but it's showing their like little time in battle world until they all band together and figure out how to stop the situation going on.
But how are they gonna? But see, I want to see how they're gonna get them to battle world. Because if they're not gonna use the Beyonder, which they probably want, or they might use a variant of another character and just call that character the Beyonder, which would be weird. Because you're supposed to establish the hierarchy of the Marvel universe, right? The one above all, the Beyonder, the Living Tribunal, characters like that, and you're supposed to show the audience why they're more powerful than every other character you've seen because of the way that they can take you and put you in different universes and planets and things like that. So,
Let's see, Terrence, we're also running into a problem where, because it's like, where was the Living Tribunal at when, and we know Marvel had to write some at time, but they didn't even show up to pull up on Thanos after he literally killed him.
The Celestials didn't do shit. The Celestials, the Eternals didn't do shit.
I think that's what,
right. But in the comics, those characters like the Celestials get killed by Thanos. By the way, the rest of them, like Eternity and them, they were just chilling back because they're like, let's see how this plays out. And then when Adam Warlock put on the gauntlet to fix everything, then they pulled up, and then they turned the gauntlet into like something as useless as like a tissue paper. It didn't work anymore. And their whole argument was, well, because we saw what Thanos did, we can't allow anybody else to use a gauntlet. Like, late mother effers. Like, what took y'all so long?
Yeah, that's the thing that I don't like. I don't like introducing godlike powers like that, because I think then you always have the question, even if you properly introduce a character like that, well, then everybody's always going to ask, well, why didn't they interfere in here? And I understand.
Yeah. Well, why don't gods interfere in real life? It's the same thing. It's just
I know, but you got to think of it in movie context. That's not compelling, and the audience is the audience, and they're going to say, well, that's stupid.
Well, I think
they definitely broke the rule. They definitely broke the rules in Eternals.
Yeah, I think the problem is this: when they introduce them, and you start to wonder, okay, like for example, this whole time, this nigga for the 5 years when they was snapped, they was trying to figure out what they can do to fix things, right? This nigga Thor had a hammer this whole time. They could have went to go see Eternity and make a wish and just bring everybody back. And I'm like, okay. And mind you, Thor is 1,500 years old. He's supposed to have all this immense knowledge of the galaxy, and it's like, now he's finding out about Eternity just now.
You see what they did though, right? See, when it's convenient, stuff works, and it doesn't work to do a certain narrative. But see, that's the problem. That's why you don't do that, because someone like Thor, he should know about all that stuff. I mean, in fact, his father Odin taught him about all that stuff. So when he takes over as king, he can be aware of these kinds of individuals and threats and to figure out how to deal with them. But if you don't know they exist, how can you prepare for some shit you don't know exists?
But the thing is, he knew Eternity existed though. It's just like, and that's why it kind of low key a little bit brings out Endgame for me, because it keeps proving my point further about Thor. He's an idiot. He hasn't learned anything.
Bro, I can't stand this Thor hate. Okay, he's trying. He's trying.
He's
trying. All right, come on. His father died. His mother died. He lost hot ass Natalie Portman. Dude, I'd be a wreck for years.
You know what?
He lost Natalie Portman.
Look, man, Odin should have came back to life via the Odin Force and backhanded his son like, yep, so you mean to tell me that I taught you all those lessons in the first movie for you just to give up your throne to Valkyrie? You are a disgrace, and he should have just took his powers back like how he did in the first movie.
It reminds me of that one Boondocks episode where we see young Uncle Ruckus. He's like, and his father's like, "Nah, can't you just have fun?" And start whooping his ass.
Can't you have fun?
Yeah.
Hey, Purp, you going to see Alien tomorrow?
Oh yeah, hell yeah! I got 4:00 show.
Oh yeah, that movie looks good.
Alien comes out tomorrow.
Yeah.
Okay, so anyone here make this their movie of the year that they were looking forward to? Because this has been mine. I love Freddy Alvarez. I've always thought he's a great director. And I saw only one trailer, and I was like, "This
And
took
stay
me
away from the
back."
other one.
Yep, I totally avoided it. I said this reminds me of, like, I love Aliens 2. It's probably my
Me
favorite, but
too.
Alien 1 I like slightly more because there was something so crazy about half that movie is like darkness and tension. You
Right,
really
right.
don't see much of the xenomorph in that movie. And I've been waiting for years for someone who has the capability to do that, and I think Freddie Alvarez can because of how he directs. Like, it's going to be
Yeah,
such an intense.
It
yeah.
looks like
I
they
know it's
combined the best elements from 1 and 2. That's what it looks like from the trailer. But gotta see.
Yeah.
yeah,
Hmm.
going back to its horror roots and stuff. And like, and I like what he did with Evil Dead 2013 and stuff. That shit was super violent, and you know what I'm saying. That was that's what got me
Bro,
excited.
and he had a story about drug addiction too.
Yeah,
Like, and it fit. Like, dude, how many people? Okay, everybody here. How many times have you watched Cabin in the Woods and got pissed off because the solution was the simplest? Leave. You could have left before the killer slashed his tires.
yeah.
This was the first
Cabin in the
person.
Woods is fire. Cabin in the Woods is dope.
Quick
I love that
question,
Yeah,
movie.
quick question for the people that grew up watching the Alien and Predator franchise. We know at some point, and they done it. It's no longer canon. They reference to it, but they hinted at the xenomorphs and the Yautja, the predators, existing in the same universe. This is personally me. If this Alien Romulus movie is just as good as Prey, I think what their best bet, and I'm not saying do like some big crossover. What I'm saying is start to remerge the universes again.
Do
And
another
I think,
Alien versus Predator.
well, not an Alien, well, in a way, but I think the perfect Predator movie with the aliens could be a movie, and there's a comic based on it. There's this female, there's this woman that joins the tribe and becomes a predator. Well, she doesn't become a predator. She like gets welcomed into the tribe. Dude's helping a hunter fight xenomorphs, and I think that
You
would be like a perfect movie
you
where
know
you
it'd
got
be
humans, you got humans, you got the predator and the xenomorphs, and it's basically a hunt.
Mm.
you know it'd be a terrifying sight to see a cross between a predator and a xenomorph. I think that too like would just be
Oh, they did that in
Yeah,
the Alien
we
vs.
did that
Predator.
in Alien Requiem.
And
That was that. Now
yeah,
that movie was trash, but the way that looked, like what you just said, it looked pretty crazy to
Yeah,
me.
it was a mess.
I forgot about that shit. Like I forgot they made two of them Jones.
yeah.
What
Yeah,
the thing with Requiem, like, all right, the reason I forget it sometimes is because you can barely see shit up in that motherfucker. That movie was dark as hell.
it was a bad movie where they forgot about lighting. I don't know what happened, but it just like you
bro.
can't.
Okay, I'm gonna say it. That movie's a guilty pleasure for me. I don't hate on it as much as other people. Like, I think if you took the first one and the second one, I would take the second one because it's more accurate to what I thought I was gonna get in the first movie before they decided to make a PG-13 bullshit watered down version. So I take the second one all day
What?
because at
The,
I don't
least
se-
think
the second one, the
there
I
second
was.
one is
don't think
R-rated,
the
but
movie that PG-13 was good, but the first movie's plot I think was good. Humans and predators working together in a sense, because the predators they hunt, but they not like no mindless beast and shit.
the first
What?
movie has the better story, but the second movie, while it's way more violent, it's like I can't see the violence though. That's why I have a problem with it. I
That's
can't.
what I'm
What are
saying.
those? What were those white xenomorphs and what was it Prometheus? Which one?
That thing. Oh, that I think the white one.
They're different. I know they're called something else, but it's just
Prometheus was a little confusing
it was like
because
it was like the black it was like the
I
these
don't know, it
like
was
black
born out of the
particles and
engineer.
shit.
Yeah, it was.
I
With the
think
white one
they're
was
called.
born out of the engineer. That white one, it came out the engineer at the end of the movie.
Yeah, what were you saying, Anto?
Yeah, I was gonna say those are, well, from what I was reading, if I can remember correctly, it was a long time. But those are the original xenomorphs.
Yeah.
That's how they
Wow.
looked when they
Okay.
first came
Okay.
out.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then when Covenant came out, he created the ones that we see today.
Right.
Would you
Right.
rather have one of those in you or a face hugger?
Neither.
Neither. What the fuck? Like,
And I
Bruh,
probably
I'm gonna
and I,
take neither myself. Like, bruh, like whether it's a bigger one or a smaller one, they're still popping out of your chest and ripping apart your organs, which you're alive for.
Hey, I'll be honest though.
I'll meet
Yeah,
you
but
halfway.
Hold
I'll
on, hold on. What were you saying, Anto?
I was gonna say I think I'd rather have that than someone have a dick in my mouth. You
yeah.
know,
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They need to start calling them
Okay,
the face fuckers. Like
you
they
know.
just be.
like, look,
All right,
That's what I'm
wait,
in
saying
a
though.
sense, that's gonna happen
But
because
see,
of what the face huggers do.
all right,
but see,
wait. Which
So,
one is the one that doesn't go down your throat? Which one is that one again? The one that doesn't go down your throat?
Those are
the course, it was the
the
protocol.
spores, whatever.
Okay, yeah, then I'll go with that, even though it just seemed like I'm gonna get fucked up either way. But yeah, like
Yeah,
Probably.
yeah, I'll take
Terminators
the
versus
spores.
Aliens versus Predators. That would be dope. That would be really dope. Maybe that's what James Cameron's working on.
Yeah, that would be fine.
Look,
No, bro. James Cameron's working on the
I'm not gonna lie
20th
to you. Look,
Avatar.
I'm not gonna
I'll go
lie.
crazy. I go crazy with it. Like you just be like Terminator versus Aliens versus Predators versus zombies. Like that'd be crazy.
Well, no,
wow,
that's the type of
that
stuff
is
we need again.
insane.
Like stuff like Freddy versus Jason. I kind of wish we got more crossovers like that, but that was not a bad crossover.
They
No,
just
They,
they
they were
they
dude.
just
supposed to
they
make
just
it. They were
released this.
supposed to make the second movie. We never got it. I was looking
They
forward to the
they
second movie.
they just released like this. Like I think it's like a 8-bit or 16-bit. Like I don't know if you've seen it, Anzo, going around. It's a new Halloween game, but it's also mixed with Evil Dead. It's like they cross over each other's like universes and stuff like that.
No, I've never seen that.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
I never heard of that, but I am aware that I haven't read it, but there is a comic apparently where you have Freddy, Jason, and Ash from Evil Dead, and they're like all fighting. So
I always wanted that, just like I know everybody's tired of shared universes. I just think it'd be cool to have just all the slashers in
You know,
the
but
same universe, not doing their own thing.
but the way they do it is like one-off stuff, like Freddy versus Jason, Leatherface versus
Like they'll just mention on the news, like it's like, oh, people dying,
right.
because in like Halloween 2018, I think that would have been the perfect time to kind of show that, like on the news, it'd be like, oh, some people dying in their sleep or something like that.
can we get Leprechaun versus Chucky? I want to see that.
We're gonna get Chucky versus Annabelle before that, though.
Bro, Chucky will win all of those.
Annabelle's gonna die.
Did you see the latest episode of Chuck? Well, not the latest one, but the one where he's watching the thing and it's the Megan
He's when he's old and shit. Yeah,
Yo, Chucky has gotten crazy powerful because of that series, but that's why I want to put him up against Leprechaun. You know what I mean? Because Chucky got pretty hacked.
Oh, did they reintroduce Chucky's son yet?
They've been doing that. They all that. That was like season 2. That was all like season 2. Season 2 was all.
K-Dot. Oh, then we can't say nothing.
I need to get caught up on season 2.
It's ridiculous, but like I expect that from Chucky. I don't really mind it, honestly.
Right.
Yeah,
of course.
No, that's
so which season's better to you, season 1 or season 2? Like what's better?
I
like the whole show, but I might say, I guess I'll say season 1 kind of, but the whole show is fire though.
Yeah,
the whole show.
Yeah,
I need to get caught up.
I even like the 2019. I like the idea, even though like Blumhouse stole the idea and just ran with the shit with Megan and shit. But
dude, Megan was good. Megan was
I just don't like that it was PG-13.
I don't hate Megan. You know, it was entertaining.
Yeah, it was funny.
I think that Megan had the greatest marketing for a movie I've ever seen in my life. Like that's what really sold it, because nobody gave a shit about Megan until they pulled that marketing, and then you had that rush, and that's why they cut it down to a PG-13. Because if you like watch interviews with the director, it was originally supposed to be R. That's why it said unrated for so long. He wanted to push for an R, but then they got so many teenagers interested, they cut it to the PG-13.
I heard they have it on.
See, this is
they got like the R-rated version of the film on the.
Yeah, I've seen it. It wasn't that different. That's what I'm saying. It could have been R, but the only thing that they really cut out is showing the angles. Like I could tell in the theater where they cut for the gore. That's all they put in is the angles that they originally shot.
That's why I like that Damien Leone didn't like sign a major, like he didn't sign to a big distributor and nothing like that. He's keeping it independent because like he wouldn't have been able to do the things that he wants to do in Terrifier 3 and stuff like.
Absolutely, yeah. They would have told him to cut a lot of that stuff from Terrifier out. I'm telling you now, a lot of that.
I can't
Bro,
wait
that
for
movie
Terrifier.
wouldn't have made it to theaters. The way that it is in 1 and even 2, dude, that wouldn't have, I would have bet that wouldn't have even made it, or they would have got a new director. There's no way
They
we would
just
get that
would
movie
have
the
had
way
to
it
cut
is.
so like with the way they grade the movies and stuff, they just would have to cut out some of the scenes. So you could trim it down, but we don't want it trimmed down though. Now that we got it the way that we got it, so
I couldn't do the Terrifiers, man. I'm sorry, couldn't do them.
You tried to watch the first one?
Yeah, I tried to.
I'd say give it
happened?
just like
What do you mean? Like what happened? How come you couldn't do it?
Just
too
wasn't
violent.
feeling it. Wasn't feeling it at all.
Oh,
I would say give it a second try because I feel like the first one's kind of like iffy for people, but then once you get to the second one, like that's where just like you really have a ball with it and like you understand like what he's going through, or even go through watch that All Hallows Eve. That's like where Art first pops up. It's not the same actor, but like it's like this
Purp,
anthology.
so I'm very accepting, but if Art shows up at my house on Halloween, like there's gonna be a news report.
Give him
Somebody
candy.
No, I'm
Yeah,
not
give him
giving him
candy.
shit. Yeah, he's getting death. I mean, he ain't gonna die, but I'm gonna try because the way he shows up in that scene in number 2, the way he was smiling with that bag, I'm like, if I think that's a problem, then you better go.
Try Terrifier 2. So it's a little long, but like I feel like you probably would enjoy that more in Terrifier, and then probably go back to Terrifier if you're just kind of like lost on certain story things with it. But
Yeah.
it's cool to just jump right into that.
Also other horror things I do think need to return is like werewolves, vampires with Frankenstein. Like that stuff been missing. We haven't had I would say we probably never since Mary Shelley, we haven't really had a good Frankenstein movie in a while. But
you mean
they are doing the Bride of Frankenstein next year.
Even Ben Helsing, like you don't see Universal using, they might as well bring back Hugh Jackman as Ben Helsing and shit.
I know. Blumhouse, they got like they're making a Wolfman movie next year.
Dude,
Man,
there is tons of werewolf movies. They're in the independent circuit.
Hey, Purp, Blumhouse got the Spawn movie too.
Anytime they do those Universal monster movies, I get really weary because I'm like, the older ones are just so great to me. I'm like, what you gonna bring to the table?
Right.
That's what I think with Nosferatu. I think that's gonna like have some type of resurgence of like the monster movies and stuff. Like they're gonna go back to like make Dracula like set in the like 30s and 40s and stuff like that. Like kind of give it that classic look.
As Nosferatu, best fucking casting I
like the casting. I just don't. I'm gonna watch the movie, but I don't know if I'm gonna like it. But I do like him as an actor, so I'm really more excited about what he does versus the movie itself.
I ain't gonna lie. I think shit like Twilight is part of the reason the OG monsters got fucked over.
Oh my god, bro! So let me tell you.
Think about it. Really think about it. I mean, we have some like those vampire movies in the early 2000s had that black dude in it with the sexy vampires and stuff.
But if we didn't get Twilight, then we wouldn't get shit like the originals and True Blood that was on HBO.
Vampire Diaries. Vampire Diaries was fire. They was ripping people's hearts out. I was like, oh shit, okay, CW, I see you.
I love Vampire Diaries, but I love originals even more. Originals was my shit. Like I couldn't wait to watch that every week.
The originals was that dude. My boy Klaus. Dude, Klaus is the single best fucking vampire anti-hero, whatever the fuck he is. Dude, Klaus.
I would say the best like vampire shit we got on the wall is the Midnight Mass shit. That shit was fire.
Oh yeah, the Midnight Mass was pretty good too. Okay. But I think vampires have been better than other ones.
Angel though, like that's still my favorite. That's my favorite TV show. Period. Is Angel.
Which one?
Buffy. The spinoff of Buffy. Yeah. So Angel is my favorite TV show. Period. So that's still my shit.
I can see Buffy coming back eventually.
I
could. They talked about it.
I think they're gonna mess it up because that universe is so goated with the characters and shit that they have. I'm like, yeah, good luck. Good luck.
Get Sydney Sweeney with a big ass titties and shit. You know what I'm saying? Just have her play Buffy.
Okay, let me tell you something. I gotta say this, dude. Sydney Sweeney, people need to stop hating on her for Madam Web. That wasn't her fault. Nobody gave a shit about that movie. Sydney Sweeney, besides being hot as shit, is actually a really good actress. Like,
she deserves all the hate. Maybe she could have salvaged the movie by throwing them titties out, but she didn't want to do that.
I agree, Kate. Then we're talking about a different movie. Then I'm giving it a 10 out of 10.
If she would have swapped out the titties, it might have gained like another 20 million, maybe. But I'm like, look, me personally, I think she has the appearance. I think she's a bad actress, but let's see what she does in her next 5 movies, and then we'll see.
No, I disagree.
How would you? Hold on, Terrence. How would you feel about somebody like Melissa Barrera being like Buffy? You feel like she couldn't do the physical?
That is very interesting, but I feel like it would come more than anyone you can pick, Purp. Even though that's interesting, it would come down to the writing. You know what I mean? Because if that writing is not on point, it won't really matter who's there.
Yeah,
that is just facts. But honestly, I take Jenna Ortega over that. Like what she did with Wednesday. Jenna Ortega she just can make anything seem.
But
really
I like that
good.
Melissa.
I wouldn't put her as Buffy though. I put her as Faith though. If we doing this whole doing it again, she could be a good Faith, but not.
Okay. Yeah.
But I like about Melissa Barrera is like you could obviously see she likes to do the physical. She can do the physical scene. And Abigail, she was going crazy too. She was getting her ass whooped.
Abigail was crazy as hell. I don't know, like that little girl when she, the vampire, the way she looked on the big screen, that looked crazy. I thought she was about to flip out that movie for a second. Like, nope.
Right. Oh yeah, Mia Goth as Widow. I would buy that for $1.
She's supposed to be in Blade and shit as the villain.
Dude, Mia Goth. Let me tell you something. Could somebody please give her flowers already? Mia Goth, I feel like, has a Best Actress, some kind of award coming to her because, my God, how many great movies does she have to do, or at least where her role is great, before she proves how great of an actress she is?
No, I'll tell you this, if I'm gonna be honest, like the X series is very good. I'm not a fan of it. Like out of the 3, I like Pearl the best out of those 3.
Yeah.
Yep.
Like her as an actress, I think she's good, but I'm kind of waiting to where she does a movie to where I really like
outside
her.
of it. Like you want to see her do something outside of horror or
Infinity Pool. Go watch that.
Not necessarily. It's like whether it's a comedy, drama, horror, like something where I can go, I really like her in it. Like Pearl, like I said, was cool, but I'm waiting for that moment where I can say I'm now a fan versus just I respect her acting skills.
I feel that because even though I feel like she did a really good job with just how she was handled in the X trilogy, playing 2 different characters and stuff, like showing her range, and even in Infinity Pool, she was dope in that.
Yeah.
Guys, I gotta bounce. I gotta work tomorrow. It's getting late. Thanks for
having
me.
Hey, good.
Appreciate you popping up.
No problem. Take care, Terrence. K-Dot.
See you, bro.
See you guys later. Peace.
Later.
Yeah, we're gonna wrap this up. It's going on for like 3 hours so far. So I appreciate y'all pulling up. You know what I'm saying? It's a really dope stream. The next stream, I'll post in a few days or something like that, or once I figure out the date for that.
It's wild. Like you know how long it's been since myself, you, Purp, and Zod have been on the same stream. You know how long it's been?
It's been 2 years, man.
Damn,
it's been a minute, man.
Yeah,
we're all old. This beard ain't just animated, folks. That's my actual beard with a few more gray hairs.
Yeah,
man. But I appreciate y'all pulling up. So this has been the birthday stream. My birthday is officially the fuck over. I'm ready to just take it down. I'm gonna have my Alien review up tomorrow and try to see some other things. I gotta just check what's dropping. But yeah, but then once I come back from my little vacation and stuff, I'll have a lot more movie reviews and stuff like that. Because I'm close. I'm like Alien will be my 79th movie. So I'm getting close. I'm getting close to 100. So you know what I'm saying,
100 for
getting
the
close
year.
to 100. Yeah. So far.
Cool.
Yeah, man. So yeah, make sure y'all subscribe to everybody here. Dot, Zon, Terrence. I appreciate y'all. Everybody that's checking out the replay. Make sure you hit that like button. I know this is gonna be it's a long stream, but I would appreciate y'all hitting that like button. You know what I'm saying? Subscribe. Whoop de
Purp,
whoop.
I got one more question for you though.
What is that, sir?
Would it be possible for this to turn into a 10-hour stream?
Absolutely not.
He's always trying to get something.
This is not
Bro, we
Google
still gotta do a
Hangouts.
10-hour stream.
Yeah, it's not Google Hangouts. So you got limits on fucking stream. My shit, like I'd be like, dog, I'm already out of space. What the fuck? Like I started to delete shit.
Them good old Google Hangout days. What happened to Google Hangouts, dude?
Yeah, Googled.
Did they just decommission it or?
Yeah, that's what Google does. They'd be like, oh, people like this shit. Oh, we shut down.
Basically. Well, there was no flaws. That was the first time they ever made anything that worked.
Yeah.
It
was actually convenient. I mean, StreamYard is also convenient, but Google Hangouts was really convenient for streaming on YouTube when they had it up.
Yeah,
Man,
but anyways, I appreciate people pulling up once again. Till next time, see y'all in the next one.
Peace.